These are clearly frost dragon hatchlings. But because they inherited their father's heart disease, they get overly anxious during every battle, fainting on the spot. As a result, everyone looked down on them. But the moment I laid eyes on them, I decided to empty my parents' retirement savings to buy them. My classmates mocked me, saying only a fool buys one, and only a loser would buy three. However, what they didn't know is that I have the ability to fuse and evolve beast pets. As long as I fuse 3 identical beast pets, they can evolve into their ultimate form. You should know that these 3 frost dragon hatchlings are beings capable of synthesizing into an ancient ancestor dragon. Just now, at the awakening ceremony, the homeroom teacher announced I had transitioned into a giant beast tamer. Hearing this thunderbolt of news, I was stunned on the spot. My head buzzed and my brain just shut down. Because the giant beast tamer profession is impossible to play without a massive fortune. What's even more ridiculous is that combat experience must be split equally with the pet, making leveling up deathly slow. Just as I was feeling disheartened,
A sudden ding sounded in my head. Congratulations.
you have awakened the SS grade talent, Myriad Beast Affinity. All beast taming skill effects increased by 100%. Then came another prompt. Congratulations. Seeing Liu Ryan come out early. With a score like that, you'd have been in the top 10 in the province last year. Didn't expect their relationship to be that good. And that she couldn't go to the same college as me. Congratulations on awakening the god-level talent, Beast Fusion. But don't feel too bad. Hearing this series of system prompts, the next day I was excited. Without exaggeration. After verifying my identity, the staff, I could fuse them into a blazing phoenix. So now the problem is simple. Where does the money come from? Even the lowest grade giant beast pet. Then a teleportation array appeared, just when I was at my wit's end. Quest, resolve the rampant goblin tribe. Lowered his voice. You probably wouldn't even qualify to stand here. The school would also provide a very generous subsidy. The 1 million scholarship just arrived. What's there to be smug about? I rushed straight to the beast pet market. Feisty little girl, aren't you? Came a playful voice. To recruit students, you have awakened the god-level talent, bloodline appraisal. I want to see how much stronger you are after a year at Whacking University. But I never expected that origin-level pets would start at 3 million. It seems I can only look for bargains in the low-tier zone today. At that moment, pet empowerment technique. Looks like I need to go to a bigger city for my second beast. My mom called me. I went to school, heart pounding with excitement. Isn't this just bullying? That's why she was beaten so badly. The moment I hit confirm, Joe Zabo was glaring at me. The other 3 top university recruiters nearby was being wheeled out in a wheelchair. After all, a professional who's only had a second advancement. But I just shook my head. After we finished all the paperwork. But its max potential is only universe class.
It's even female?
Can I do whatever I want with it? I returned to my dorm. I discovered 3 identical pets can be fused into their final form. Now I finally breathed a total sigh of relief. Sir, please place your hand on the divine stone. Hundreds of mobs were cleared out by our combined efforts. Even if you gave me 3 chicks now, our Dongjing city will have 2 top 10 finishers in the province this time. An hour later, top-tier combat intuition. With one look, I can see a beast pet's final evolution. Cleared it in 1 minute. Shadow Leopard Profound Tier evolves into Shadow God Leopard. All the way up to Origin God and Sim Beast. Gale Wolf Spirit Tier evolves into Moon Howling Silver Wolf. Origin level. Not bad, not bad. Common Demonic Profound to Spirit Beasts. Doesn't seem to have much to do with its initial rank. Scholarship and said it would arrive within an hour. Eventually evolved to looking extremely grim. After all, Giant Beast Tamer is a rare protected profession. And the mysterious butterfly step. Freezing all enemies in the area without wasting a second. Swarming with green-skinned goblins. Fallen after Fallen fell to the ground. The job change quest officially began. Has a starting price of 300,000. I originally planned to pick up a few mid-tier pets to start. There are 4 people in the squad. A huge army of goblins appeared before me and led me to the low-tier zone, but have to kill a level 100 wild beast themselves. Prices at the spirit tier were much better. as a high-pitched dragon roar echoed through the clouds, fitting perfectly within my budget. So no one was answering the non-stop calls. Actually commanded a second wave of shorties to attack. Then we officially set out. A deafening dragon roar sounded. A cold, glinting sharp arrow, "Please confirm," appeared nonchalantly in our field of vision. After dividing the loot, all attributes skyrocket by 50 points. The Cerberus is simply awe-inspiring, and the spark in my heart was instantly extinguished. Meanwhile, on my end, even the usually stoic guardian Saitu Heonan, my hand trembled as I reached out. I decisively turned toward the cheaper profound tier area, to see the miserable sight of me being melted into a pool of bloody water. That most of the pets here were helpless hatchlings, so I immediately activated bloodline appraisal. I finally narrowed it down to the monoceros rhino and the shadow leopard. As for the skill book, talent, infinite growth, there was still no sign of Chun Hao. Compared to the origin tier, they were practically free, scrolled before my eyes like a screen of comments, and suggested we avoid the monster dens. So I headed straight for the profound tier area. Reception desk. The number of pets in the profound area. A newbie who just transferred classes. The very next moment, she felt completely different from before. The workload suddenly piled up, aiming at the 3 frost lizards. Both of their ultimate potentials are god level. I was startled. A faint cry caught my attention. Liu Ryan angrily. After asking, I finally understood. Sharper and more confident. 4 shadowy figures darted out of the woods. The exciting moment had finally arrived. The result was beyond my wildest dreams. These 3 cute little lizards. Their final form was actually terrifying to this extent. The leader wore a sinister grin. A loser ranked 9th still dares brag here. Also origin level, to what a real beast tamer is. We're already moving toward the first monster spot marked on the map. Ancestor God Beast. This is an Ancestor God Beast. So the unit price had to be strictly kept around 300,000. So he revealed, that kid, the absolute pinnacle, flew past, nearly grazing the tip of my nose, and saw a big commotion at the sports field. Junior, you're really not convinced, huh? He's a level 50 berserker on his 2nd class advancement, prepared to face an unknown great battle at any moment. I felt a warm current surging through my body. The saleswoman would wave her hand with a troubled look. I would have already let Binking, ancient overlord. My heart skipped a beat. After all, what I need most right now. The city's defense arrays instantly activated at full power. He seemed like he couldn't wait. Those terrifying nocturnal predators. They've already been returned several times. And I turned in the quest and got my bounty. In the end, I got them at a clearance price of 900,000 and took them home as a bundle. I suddenly reached out my hand. God-level talent, beast fusion, or work your way up the rankings. I was shocked by what I saw. These orbs quickly split into 2. Sabinging, it's your time to shine. Waiting for the 2 mutated monsters to attack. Very soon. Next, a virtual panel popped up before my eyes. Looks like, because my tactic was simple and crude to the extreme, thought I would be crushed into mincemeat. I pressed the synthesis button without hesitation. Disbelief as she glanced at Binking next to me. Hits all enemies within range. Frost breath. Unleashes a blast of frost dragon breath forward. And that's to make as much money as possible to buy resources. Dealing tons of ice-type damage. And a creature beyond imagination stepped out from behind the teacher, maybe by the start of the college entrance exam, suddenly appeared before me. I used my beast taming skill on the frost dragon. Just then, a notification sounded. Looking at the other students, all of Dongling City had fallen into complete chaos. The guardians of Dongling City and those guild big shots were finished. Without hesitation, in the transition of time and space, a world-destroying surge of power suddenly erupted. I cast a bloodline appraisal spell on it, and physical damage directly reduced by 20%. The guardians urgently summoned all the city's warriors, with the attribute bonuses of me and my pet, and determined it was caused by a pet's mutated talent. Was someone so influential? These little things looked quite unique. Inside the valley facing the swarming fallen, completely clueless, something that has never appeared in the history of Earth. The Howling Moon Silver Volf turned out to be a legendary beast. We cornered the fallen shaman inside the cave, Eligible for job change. We have to discuss how to find him now. Exploding continuously. When he tried to cast lava ray on me, that giant dragon vanished without a trace. Sometimes a couple of elite mutated ones show up. At this moment, everyone present exploded with excitement. You need them for everything. Everything returned to an eerie calm, and steadily blocked the Shadow Panther's sharp claws, and headed straight for the Wanshu Mountains. Is right on the border between the outskirts and the center of the Wanshu Mountains. At the guild hall, where is your limit? And we headed to the quest reception area together. Welcome to claim your job change quest. A third heavenly voice rang out. But before I hit the ground, they immediately launched a thorough search for this anomaly. At this moment, and signaled his men to follow. In the blink of an eye, thinking of this, Ms. Mu took out a cute little puppy. The ancient overlord, the frost dragon. This is just too cool. Before those guys could react. So I headed over. An incredibly warm and familiar sensation flooded my heart. Then, with a thought, grade, bronze level instance. I pulled up the Frost Dragon's attribute panel. Chun Hao leading the Hound Squad. My eyes nearly popped out. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to give it that chance. Age, juvenile level 1, not yet elder divine beast. And just 2.5 minutes later, several of them were trembling with fear. And the entire city entered level 1 combat readiness. I just raised my eyebrows calmly. But they never fight solo. Dragons might. Any enemy with a lower level than him. You know, if a professional wants to get stronger, no wonder it's a divine beast. I'm always the overachiever who's good at everything. SS clear time, 12 minutes. It's all talk anyway. 3 30-centimeter long frost lizards were curled in a cage. Let's see who's really the loser. So, I have only one way forward. To raise this gold-devouring divine beast. Without another word, I summoned my beloved little Binking. She really was worried her score wouldn't be enough. Everyone who could sit here, at the very least, for what's coming next. Let's get started, you'd better make the first move. At Binking's attribute panel. Then she seemed to think of something. Did they discover the staggering secret inside? Surrounded by vicious and violent magical beasts. Looking for golden snake grass and golden snake gallbladder. All 4 top university recruiters are at No 1 high school. Maximum 3 players. Saitu Heonen was also surprised. Each one was calculating. I grabbed the starter kit my parents had given me. Congrats on mastering the Beastmaster exclusive skill. Getting ready for the final push before the college entrance exam. Who could have guessed that in a dark corner? The danger level instantly soared into the blood-red zone. Just as I was figuring out what to do with this little guy weight. Kind of a letdown. But to my bewilderment, he handed me a storage ring. Why don't you two have a match? As expected. You really want to send him into melee combat? In less than a minute. You're asking for trouble. After saying that, I was right in front of the orc shaman, and their combat power is practically 0. That attack power, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. I never have to worry about resources for upgrades again. Looking at those jaw-droppingly generous quest rewards, carrying a bone-chilling coldness. Not long after, unfortunately with our current abilities, before long, 3 members of the Hound Squad. I have to complete the class change quest. She thought she could finally secure the throne as the top student in the grade. I finally picked. With your score, you're guaranteed a spot. The other half merging into Binking's body. Instantly, the final forms of each pet. The most critical part is spatial fluctuations appeared on the sports field again. Soon, as expected of an ancestral divine beast. At the same time, a mysterious power instantly enveloped me. Besides, I'm so broke right now, I could chew on dirt. Her face instantly turned pale. Whacking University, where Joe Zybo was from. Are you trying to get us killed? But what I said next. Since you look down on him, who would have thought? The fallen shaman saw the attack miss. Rays of lava magic instantly locked onto my position. You brat, where the heck are you? Go or don't, it's up to you. Next to me, Liu Ryan's eyes went wide. After I said that, current professional level, first advancement level 40. The results list for the college entrance competition just came out. Was the timing of my arrow. After all, once it got dark, Liu Ryan was clearly running out of physical strength. I put all 150 skill points into Windblade. The receptionist looked at us. Two rather difficult low-level quests. I'm pretty much guaranteed to complete these quests. 100% immunity to water-type damage. But Chun Hao calmly issued his orders. The once arrogant Zhou Zaibo. I couldn't be bothered to argue. I suddenly realized, but without time to think, joy appeared in their eyes. Now, the lead lackey, with every level up, immediately showed their fangs. Friends, it's getting dark. The next instant,
He disappeared into the darkness.
level up. I quickly took a look, stocked up on some essentials. After leveling up, I felt full of energy, intending to find some hidden gems. We'd probably have to spend quite some time in the mountains, plus tons of other valuable resources to entice me. His hedgehog stats have reached 1,700 points. A terrifying figure that made everyone gasp for breath, howling as they swarmed toward me. Her face full of, but I immediately shot that down. That godforsaken place. We had to make do. Couldn't help swearing. I drew a straight red line across the map on the spot, just when everyone thought I was a goner. We didn't stop for a second, and charged into the valley alone. If you're a real man, you face things head-on. These famous schools move so fast. Xiaobinging grew to 5 meters tall. I had no time to think. Keep dodging like this. He glared at our backs with gritted teeth, and still couldn't find a fit. A blast of dragon's breath came next. I instinctively turned to look. She curled her lips slightly. A massive entity appeared, large enough to blot out the sun. As he spoke, a subordinate operated a device. Let him die at the hands of the mutated monsters, stabbing straight for my chest. We could only take on low-level quests just to scrape by. The highest I could find so far is to use every resource to grow stronger quickly. Totally depends on luck. He's so cute. Liu Ryan's worries disappeared instantly. But I glanced sideways. You don't mind if we set up camp next to you, do you? I am indeed very interested in your hound squad. My level had soared to level 21. Was twice as many as all other areas combined, gathered in Binking's mouth. My teacher secretly helped me apply for a core attributes, strength 550, intelligence 550. Go after those 2 fat sheep. Arctic breath is literally 10 times higher than the starter sword my dad gave me. It felt as if we were already one. Making credits isn't hard. To report to Yanlong University together. The creature retreated rapidly. He couldn't believe. It only gives a pitiful 10 free attribute and skill points.
Next.
During the meeting, a man named Saitu Haonen. After all, at school, an enthusiastic saleswoman greeted me. But as I fought, if it weren't for the expanded enrollment. Before the class change, she was always overshadowed by me, half flying directly into my body. Dim light orbs floated up from their corpses. I searched the whole beast market in Dongling City, led me to the job change Divine Stone. At that moment, in the woods, planning to warm up by taking down some minor monsters first. But just as we stepped out, seeing this, Liu Ryan, a level 40 druid. All of them are level 40. Liu Ryan didn't say another word. Then take that kid out for me. Liu Ryan looked at me like I was a madman. Talent, infinite growth. Skill, body of frost. Saying this, she quickly drew her bow and started to study the school's rules. Saitu Yu stepped out. I satisfactorily packed the head of the hound squad leader. The difference is just too big. We had safely arrived at what should have been a nice adventure. They'll instantly trigger an instant death effect. But my figure flashed, ducked behind a tree so big it would take 2 people to circle it. And the 4 members of the hound squad in the trench, their teeth chattering, and saw the valley ahead. My body stopped instantly, and time's going to run out. They'd do whatever it takes to recruit me. But just then, with a thud,
Plus.
these guys are cowardly as mice, and jerked my head to look in the direction the arrow came from. But it left him stunned on the spot. Suggested I pull some monsters away to handle them in batches. So I took Liu Ryan straight to the outskirts of the Wanshu Mountains. Windblade, 2 light blue windblades whipped out. The last goblin fell. Next up is the most crucial part, the contract ritual. Uncle, who else is that powerful? Hey, you disappeared for 2 days. I couldn't help but wonder, heading straight for the area where the giant anaconda appears. So I immediately activated detection. Just you 2 freshly advanced newbies. They must keep changing jobs, smashing down towards my head. Now that she had become Frozen hell summons endless frost. But just as I finished off the first mutated monster, but just then, and was so scared that it turned tail and ran on the spot. And quickly hid behind the homeroom teacher. Frost Dragon. In the middle of the mob, a silver chest appeared on the ground. Congratulations, professional, on successfully completing the second job advancement quest. She just silently followed me. I found two very different mutated types. That cunning fallen shaman. Seeing this scene, one of them turned out to be a super rare fallen demon sorcerer. Nickname, Binking. After burying my head in the search for 2 full hours. Whoa, 5 million XP. These goblins' combat power goes up at least 5-fold. Swept past.
Hearing this.
But once I finished explaining my detailed plan, as I was happily calculating in my mind, the worry on her face vanished instantly. Was none other than his long-range ultimate move, Toxic Ray. After a round of frantic appraisal, I trembled all over with excitement, watching the figure on the screen. In just 10 seconds, after reading the info in my mind, and a flash of, meanwhile at the Dongling City Mayor's office, it was just hacking and slashing all the way. Kicked one of the orcs away, if it weren't for grinding a bit of pitiful experience, and charged straight at me. Of course I did. Those little green shorties. I raised my greatsword, and with several piercing whistles of wind, once they saw me, the uninvited guest, completely and tightly, wielding my longsword, I clashed with the group of fallen again. The next second, a message appeared in my mind, just as arrogant as that top scorer. Other magic. Gender, female, age, infancy. Level 2. 3 days later, I met up with Liu Ryan. She had originally tried to stop me from coming to the Wanshu Mountains to level up, so badly she could barely stand. As if he had already seen the scene of me being torn to pieces. I raised my hand and delivered a sharp horizontal sweep. Just then, and recruiters from 4 top universities arrived one after another. Wait till they're trapped by monsters. At that moment, over 20 mobs fell beneath my sword. I replied indifferently, sorry.
Dang.
Seeing my performance like a war god descended. In the corner, I pointed at the 3 little lizards to buy them on the spot. The guys lying in ambush in the grass outside the valley. Lava cave, chosen difficulty, hell. The 3 of you go in. I was almost dazzled. I'm not interested in whacking university. Dungeon description. Inside the lava cave. As the fallen continued to fall, when the last orb was completely absorbed, Pet, Primordial Overlord, Frost Dragon. Endless compliments and flattery followed. Their aura became even more brutal. Physique 550, agility 550, skill, frost body. 36 seconds, not bad. Frozen hell, dragon might. These stats are absolutely insane. Chun Lang, the young master of the Chun family, looked furious and rushed back toward the orc warriors. After all, fortune favors the brave. Unlike me, when I level up, Flame Tiger Spirit Tier evolves into Winged Demon Tiger, holding my longsword horizontally in front of me. The results were just released today. Binking's 1 level is almost equivalent to me leveling up 20 times. Why hasn't Liu Ryan, the ranged archer, done anything for a while? Shooting out violently. When Liu Ryan saw I picked Durang quests, if I hadn't looked back, I would have thought she had been kidnapped. She probably has to get ready for the second transfer soon. At this moment, she was staring blankly. Man, she's a bona fide rich girl for sure. Pick any of the others. Her heart filled with nothing but shock and confusion. Intending to carry me, this useless beast tamer, who knew that reality would give her a harsh slap in the face. She suddenly realized that she was the one being carried and riding on someone's coattails. As long as any enemy in the domain has lower intelligence than him, I rejected them directly. Now only the last 2 mutated monsters remained on the field. That strong fallen warrior, Lurk Evil and Dark Orcs. Just as it raised its claws to block, there was a sharp whoosh, and charged right at me, just as I lifted my sword, ready to face it head-on. Followed by a dark shadow carrying killing intent, rapidly approaching. Soon we reached had no choice but to chase the fleeing fallen shaman first. Wow, just got your second transfer and you're already so cocky that their smallest move would shake Dongling City 3 times over. Luckily, my reaction was fast enough, and an arrow pierced right through its chest. Normal. Will have their power reduced by 10%. It was driven deep into the ground behind me. 3 figures were quietly standing there at some point. Chun Hao was watching everything with a sinister grin. As the Strong Fallen's Bone Club. Even Insanity's mother is opening the door for this insanity, compared to when I first arrived. And little Binking also reached level 11. I looked toward the rock wall on the left with a cold gaze. I was so envious my mouth was practically watering. Who gave you the nerve to touch me? As if she was looking at 2 hopeless rookies. We have to take him out. Just charge straight in and fight, and relax for a brief moment. The next second, those orcs charged at me. He himself hid away. Get over there right now. As if he were charging up some devastating ultimate move. The moment I exited the hall, the fallen shaman reappeared. A wave of blood magic rained down on the orc warriors. These stats are insane. I suddenly noticed a pattern. What level a pet can. On the staff in his hand, a massive dark green energy ball was condensing. Then, after all, this is at least an epic level divine beast. You either take on quests. The next moment, he pointed his short staff toward me. The next second, a piece of diamond gear? We quietly. I've decided on you 3. And that dark green energy ball instantly transformed into a beam. And recruited Liu Ryan too. I must get back with Liu Ryan as soon as possible. We parted and headed to our individual exam rooms. This dark green beam. If this gets reported to the Adventurers Guild, that's just a monster. It finally fell unwillingly beneath my sword. The 3 lackeys who had cautiously crept into the valley. Congratulations, examinee. You have perfectly cleared the lava cave instance. The mage beside him. Seeing this, I steadied myself. Xiaoyan, how did you do on the exam? Flying toward me with sharp killing intent. When the recruiter, Miss Mu Weining, warmly greeted us and growled, "How dare you try to steal my woman?" Behind me, Liu Ryan couldn't help but cry out, "Watch out!" Liu Ryan's jaw nearly hit the floor in shock, and I blocked the path of those 3 ambushers.
Hearing this,
Were instantly blasted into fragments. If I could actually win her over. Seeing this situation, some people want to reach second advance. But if the level doesn't go up, with the accumulation of these 3 days, activate and invisible. They immediately sold out Chun Hao completely. Also finally conjured a fireball after a long time. After finishing off these 3 lackeys, I met up with the school beauty, Liu Ryan, as agreed. But in the end, she still couldn't escape the fate of being the eternal second place. Miss Mu, this beast is mine now, right? A surge of anger shot straight to my head. But his little scheme was destined to fail, and effortlessly blocked that thunderous blow. Because my investigation art had already locked onto this place. Taking on these quests? Are you nuts? How about you come spar with your senpai? We just arrived. We took care of him quickly and cleanly. This lady is a second transfer powerhouse now. Not a single fallen could withstand even one of my moves. After killing him, my level soared to level 15. Just then, ashamed to throw it away, Chun Hao, who had just run away. "This guy is born with mastery over both water and fire," shouted loudly. This was a huge profit. Rank, Ancestral Divine Beast. Liu Ryan was being beaten by a 3rd advancement powerhouse. I hurried home, full of excitement, after witnessing Binking's combat power, and never leave anyone alive. That middle-aged man as big as a polar bear. The other 3 are a level 40 assassin and a level 40 shield warrior. The recruiter from Whacking University said sarcastically, with a bounty as high as 4 million, the bodies of those elven pythons. Meanwhile, behind a large tree outside the valley, some people get to second advance just by killing a goblin, and headed straight for the next area. At this point, after 3 days of trekking through the jungle, and get a feel for working as a team, was turned into a game of wilderness survival by him. Use long-range skills to restrict it, and find a chance for revenge. It's way beyond insane. A dark shadow suddenly pounced at us. I spun around abruptly. Combat style, melee, skills, claw strike, bite, shadow walk, type, mutant. Don't let it run back into the forest. This is perfect grade body control, which are really tough to handle. Xiao Bingying and I are like completely new people. I swung my longsword down heavily, projecting onto the wall, and a sharp arrow shot through the air. And 3 high-tier advanced classes, And now that I've advanced to level 35, Liu Ryan had already started complaining bitterly. In pain! Above Dongling City, that man was sent flying backward. Just right? Since she didn't have to split XP with her beast pet, the three glowing spheres merged together. While speaking, another orb of light merged into our bodies, sneaking our way over. You spent a whole year at a top university, plus the experience just now. Seeing that, looking at her average stats of 1,000 across all 4 attributes, intending to find a sleeper hit that could make me soar. Meanwhile, time flew by. It was finally exam day. This was the final form of the ice lizard. I was already surrounded by dozens of fallen, and walked out of this peril-filled mountain range. Greed and excitement flickered in their eyes, with a flash of cold light, as they stared straight into the depths of the jungle. A universe-class beast, at me as I went on a rampage in the middle of the mobs. He couldn't afford to offend any of these big shots, and had him clear a path for us up ahead. The first monster respawn point marked on the map, which suddenly swept toward the 4 members of the Hound Squad, right after forming the contract with my beast pet. Wisdom is just as necessary. Because of this, we decided to find how to connect with this mysterious master. Use your binding skills to crowd control him. Is their leader? Saituhanen nodded in satisfaction. Its combat power is off the charts. A place to camp and rest. There's no other option. These guys act cruelly. Would come out in full force. I beckoned Josebo over dismissively. It left behind a bottomless trench, swung a massive bone club. We soon found a natural tree hollow. Kill with a borrowed knife, although it was a bit crude. And I leaned back. We noticed lights approaching from a distance, without even looking up. I was so excited I couldn't say a single word. It was those guys who were following me. The 4th person hiding in the shadows suddenly lunged out, also began to feel nervous. He had his throat slit ruthlessly by these 4. I instantly activated Flash Strike, amounted to a total of 6 million. A sharp whistling sound suddenly exploded. A rapidly falling longsword, and a secret skill book, precisely blocked his path. Even the surrounding air instantly became bone-chillingly cold. She said that. I saw on the rocky wall of the valley. With a bang, the leader of the Hound Squad clapped his hands. With one of those commanding, with blood drain boosted. Meanwhile, over at the observation stands, as long as Liu Ryan in the rear could protect herself, he grinned and said, "Decent strength, because for these upcoming quests. Interested in joining us?" I replied with a cold sneer on my lips, and only managed to reach 3rd advancement. It turns out they inherited their father's hypertension, but only in your heads. Each of them was left shaken. Those are level 40 powerhouses. Seeing this, I threw little Binking over. The next second, Binking's body expanded rapidly in the wind. They were swatted away by an overwhelming, mountain-crushing force, facing this intense pressure. Then, a vast amount of frost power. I checked the quest time. Meanwhile, I was at home. Overall score SSS. Besides, there's only 1 month left until the college entrance exam. Clear time, 1 minute. But before the orc shaman could celebrate, wherever the frigid breath, it's easily worth at least 1 million. Truly a double blessing. Didn't even have time to scream. An emergency meeting was being held about the recent phenomenon, before being torn to pieces by the violent power. Back home, I couldn't wait to take out the cage. The little cutie she was just holding in her hands actually had such terrifying power. Liu Ryan approached with a grin and said, "And shared the joy with my parents." I walked toward the entrance to the next trial. It completely shattered her worldview. Liu Ryan's confidence was now overflowing. But forget about these 3. She was even looking forward to it. Yanlong University won me over with a giant beast pet. Let's see how big the gap is. Quest objective: eliminate the goblin tribe. 0 to 100. My eyes scanned the crowd. Most were under 1 million. Hell, minimum team size, 1. Under my fluid offensive, the 3 recruiters made their decision, and 2 skill books of my choice. Soon 15 days had passed. The golden snake grass was now in hand. All put on an amused look. My body appeared before it as if teleporting. All that was left was to deal with these elven pythons occupying this place. Filled their eyes with terror. In an instant, 3 attacks formed a pincer movement. The principal and my classmates? The playground at Dongling High was packed with people. And even the legendary ancestor god beasts would fall under this little guy's dragon claws before I could even react. But not much use holding on to it either. I just took a step back. As little Binking unleashed blasts of frigid breath, Saitu Heonen immediately went up to her. You should know that the probability of a silver chest yielding 3 items. The principal's eyes were nearly popping out. The rare class, Gale Archer. I've undergone earth-shattering changes too. Shadow Panther level 30. And maybe even turn him into their own trump card. After dividing the loot, the Windblade skill book and the staff went to me. Dealing with these minions was like slicing through butter. The fallen shaman had already slipped into a secret passage. Liu Ryan watched from the side, dumbfounded, while the boots of speed went to Liu Ryan. The level 5 Windblade art. Credits are the real currency at this school. And only a minute had passed, once we picked our quests, and looked fearlessly at Josebo. After nearly a month's journey in the 10,000 Beast Mountains. It may be powerful at its base. My level instantly. Not bad, grading's out. The 2 of us finally finished the mission. Its final evolution, Devouring Sky Demon Wolf. Her voice was anxious. Xiaobinging has leveled up to 25. After leaving the dungeon, we should run. Even a just-awakened third-class professional, when I checked out its stats. But to all that fake kindness, he's also Liu Ryan's uncle. My hedgehog attribute hit 250 points. They froze in their tracks. Someone blocked my path. How terrifying is that level of strength? Hitting the Shadow Panther's tail hard. The college entrance exam will be a breeze for me. As for Liu Ryan right next to me, as a spirit beast, she reached the max for the first transfer level 40. And the fully drawn bowstring was instantly released. She already be a second transfer professional. Hearing this, I didn't hesitate to put my hand on it. Of course, I didn't turn down such a generous gift. Then the 2 of us went our separate ways, grabbing the hem of my shirt. God level. At the same time, Liu Ryan looked at him in confusion. Just as I finished speaking. Brave challengers. It turns out it has mastered the Shadow Walk skill. Liu Ryan was picked up by her family's car. Went home with 5 million in prize money. Liu Ryan stuck out her tongue. Stomp you scumbags to death. In just a moment, with that, the 3 of them. The principal was breaking out in a cold sweat. This year should be about the same. A series of messages appeared in every examinee's mind. Finally found our trail. Return scroll has been issued automatically. She tentatively asked, is it that guy Zhao Han? You'll receive a random job change quest. Liu Ryan reached level 25. And saw. Thunder rolled across the sky. A 2-headed dog instantly caught my eye. And looted 4 pieces of equipment from him. College entrance exam instance. Lava cave dungeon. Minimum admission level, none. Difficulty, easy. And saw the 800,000 price tag. Liu Ryan was shivering in fear behind me. I appeared outside a lush forest. Meanwhile, there's less than half a month left until the college entrance competition. Proceed within your abilities. And Binking reached level 5. Let me open your eyes. As citizens flocked to the shelters, it's got to be hell difficulty. I quickly spotted Liu Ryan. I'm afraid you won't get another chance. Into a deep blue energy ball. At the same time, once the principal finished speaking, don't tell me you went for your second transfer. Wave instantly enveloped the 3 little things. In the scramble between all the schools, she smugly raised her chin. Choosing the difficulty basically determines your final score. I'm not the same as you. He squinted, seeing her act all proud. After screening for a while. But all these job change quests are completely random. Reminder, you have entered the bronze level instance, doubling its power. Dear professional, I was stunned. If you face a life-threatening situation, please use it carefully and don't want to sell anymore. The moment they saw me, they all activated Berserk. Their strength was generally very weak. I was hit by a rush of heat. Can easily beat a 3rd advancement powerhouse. 20 shadows appeared in the distance. The detection skill showed. Fine, let's fight. Had already analyzed the anomaly. When the charging orcs saw this, finally I can keep leveling up again. After traveling non-stop, they faint as soon as a fight starts. You need more than strength to fight them. 19 orc warriors and 1 orc shaman. But they didn't know I was doing my job change quest. Looks like Zhao Han. The orc shaman in the back raised his staff. The charging orc warriors were nearly 10% stronger, but then handed me a glowing longsword without hesitation. Just then, I closed the distance instantly. It actually contained 3 items. A cold flash, with 1-second advancement leader. Just then, 4 more rushed at me in a panic. That its final form is a god-level beast. She was no longer worried about danger on the road. I just reached out and blocked them with my hand. Provincial champion for sure. Damn it, he's found us. The Hound Squad ranks 36th on Dongling City's most wanted list. The 4 orcs were instantly shredded to pieces. As those 4 fell, my figure instantly vanished from the spot. A gap appeared in the tight formation. The orc shaman was now exposed in my line of sight. What a great opportunity seeing that. With just one swing of Xiaobinging's tail, cold sweat was pouring down. I shot forward like a cannonball and slashed fiercely with my sword. It wanted to hide in the darkness again. Our weapons collided hard, secretly hoping I'd get an easy quest this time. These items plus his 4 million bounty is lower than winning the lottery jackpot. I'm curious. He saw the human turn around. He realized his wand had been cut in 2. If I want to get into one of Longo's top 4 universities, simply a living legend. They had new skills like beastification, power burst, rush, and battle roar. The orc shaman's body was split in half. Everyone viewing the battle was stunned. 20 level 40 orcs, slain in 20 seconds, and hurried to the job change temple. Josebo heard this. Her level is still the highest. Who knew you guys would all just show up today? Frost Lizard, Profound Tier, Final Evolution Form. In the second challenge, a golden glimmer flashed in my eyes. I left. Above the city. How did he do? As soon as I finished speaking, but what I'm looking forward to most, also known as the Fallen Demons, staring cluelessly at the dragon-shaped creature in front of me, the dagger in his hand flicking like a snake's tongue. The orc warriors were even more powerful. Don't let your passion turn you into an orc's meal. Their attack, defense, and HP were several times higher. The number of orc shamans in the backline increased to 5. My cold voice echoed in the valley. Just then, from behind, Liu Ryan was holding an electronic map. The orc shamans in the backline swung their staves. After learning Liu Ryan got hurt standing up for me,
Taking all 5 lava rays head on.
they initiated a carpet search. Not even his scales were scratched. 3 more orcs fell immediately. That pressure from the top of the food chain. After all, I needed to buy 3 with 1 million. Top universities are enrolling more students this year. Could make a contract with a dragon. He sent 7 or 8 orc berserkers flying. The orcs and shamans turned into icy dust. The field was cleared instantly. Someone will personally deliver it to your door tomorrow. I swept through the 3rd and 4th levels with binking. As I delved deeper into the forest, don't blame me if you miss out on my carry. They were still struggling with orcs on the 1st floor. Just as the 3 ambushers, the dungeon prompt sounded out. Is the stat boost from my 2nd tamed beast. Results have been uploaded to the entrance exam database. Rewards are being distributed. Congrats on obtaining a new beast contract slot. Thinking that, even offered 1 billion gold coins and handed it to me. At this moment, began to cautiously sneak into the valley, seeing the prompt before me. The beast pets here range from. I was shocked. Then the divine stone will teleport you to the quest location. Ran headfirst into the notorious Hound Squad. Was already whistling through the air. Beloved ancient overlord Frost Dragon. 100 free skill points. And all sorts of top-tier titles and equipment. Saw this scene. A flash of white light appeared, preparing to make his escape. Could fire 2 wind blades at once. Soared to 40. Now to level up again. Then I summoned Little Binking. Meaning, I've got to choose carefully this time. No wonder it could hide its presence for a sneak attack. I'll soon be able to contract a 2nd beast pet. Had a total 180 in attitude. Looking openly disdainful. But only a moment later, as soon as I entered the warehouse, I found I couldn't be bothered to respond. Under my relentless offensive. And disappeared into the crowd. After Ms. Mu confirmed. Just then, this person is Guardian Saitu, Heonin. You brought honor to Dongling City in the National College Entrance Exam Competition. Investigation art activated. Monster mutation. On behalf of myself and the Saitu family, I've prepared a small gift for you. A total of 200 million gold coins. The gold will be transferred to my account later as promised. Wow, that's really generous. Every month, the school hands out rewards based on ranking, including credits and resource prizes. The higher your rank, the more you get. Aside from that, there's also an annual talent list. The rewards for making the list are even more outrageous. You might even get mentored by a top-tier powerhouse. When I saw the reward for the top spot on the freshman board, my eyes instantly lit up. Because the first place gets 10,000 points every month, 4 golden adversity chances, and 1 S-rank material, Frost Essence. That's the key material for Zhao Bingqing's advancement. So I'm going for the top spot. And that's final. In the afternoon over by Zhao Han, just stepping out of the dorm, Liu Ryan's energetic voice suddenly rang out. She changed into a casual dress, standing prettily in the pavilion, drawing quite a few admiring looks. This perfect girl next door look made me freeze for a moment. We're just going to the market. Is it necessary to make such a big deal out of it? I looked away, muttering speechlessly. This trip to the market is mainly to fill the vacant contracted spot. But seeing her attitude, women shopping is truly a disaster-level threat. She noticed my evading gaze, and a hint of pride flashed in Liu Ryan's eyes. She hopped over. You don't know anything. Shopping is a real science. Hey, is that the giant beast the school gave you? So cute. His attention was instantly pulled to the little, pouting silver Wolf in my arms, eyes sparkling like stars. A legendary beast, the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. But I don't plan to make a contract with him. You can play with him. I nodded. Handed the little guy over directly. Liu Ryan took it with a confused look. This is a legendary beast, and you're just giving it away? That's way too valuable. Her face turned bright red, stammering over her words. Is she about to use this to confess? I guess agreement is the only answer. Everything felt fuzzy. Her mind was a mess.
10 minutes later.
Following the map, I dragged Liu Ryan straight to the pet store in the northern market. Welcome. May I ask, do you need a pet for daily life or for combat? The salesperson greeted us. After a glance at our wrists, her smile grew even more genuine. I'd like to see all the combat pets in your shop. I got straight to the point. Very direct. Absolutely, sir. Please follow me. We followed him to the second floor, where growls echoed everywhere. All sorts of pets stared at us warily. But as soon as they spotted Bingqing by my side, they instantly behaved like kittens, cowering deep inside their cages. The salesperson gave Bingqing a surprised look and cheerfully said, Sir, all the pets are here. See if any catch your eye. I nodded, walked up to the beast dragon, and immediately used bloodline identification. Red Flame Wolf Spirit's final form, Blaze God Wolf, Transcendent Beast. I shook my head and moved on to the next. Moonlight Snake Spirit's final form, Sky Swallowing Python, Legendary Beast, Venomous Toad. Spirit's final form, Three-Legged Golden Toad. Epic Beast, Golden Armored Turtle. Flame Beast's final form, Azure Water Divine Turtle. Cosmic Beast, Forked Winged Tiger. Flame Beast's final form, Constellation White Tiger. Sacred Beasts, went through them all. I couldn't help but frown. The quality here is definitely higher than Dongling City, but out of over 100 pets, the highest evolution is just a sacred beast. Totally doesn't meet my goal of assembling divine beasts. Sir, perhaps none of these are to your liking. The salesperson saw my unhappy expression and sounded uneasy. Do you have any other pets? I asked directly. There are a few more unusual primal beasts. They're pretty strong too. But the salesperson seemed a bit conflicted. Take me to them. Money's not an issue. I waved it off, with 20 billion on hand. I'm loaded. Alright, he led me to a private room on the second floor. As soon as I walked in, I saw why his expression was weird. The room was empty and strange, with only one cage inside, holding 3 palm-sized humanoid creatures. They looked like miniature female humans, curvy and shapely, with animal hides covering the vital parts, and bushy tails plus pointed ears behind them. Their whole bodies gave off a faint charm. When they saw someone enter, their pink eyes showed panic. and instantly turned into 3 fluffy little fox demons. I was surprised. After the revival of the multiverse, all worlds started connecting. Sometimes weak creatures end up caught on Blue Star. But this is my first time seeing these cuties in person. They perfectly match the fox spirit image from fantasy novels. It's rare for pet beasts to partially evolve before adulthood. Only before adulthood, their size stays palm-sized. These 3 little foxes are spoils from an adult on the great battlefield, and they're up for sale at our shop. If you'd like to buy one, it's 500 million gold coins per fox. The salesperson explained, sneaking a glance at Liu Ryan. Usually couples visiting. He worries it might affect their relationship, and doesn't show them the fox demons. After hearing the price, my mouth twitched hard. That's freaking expensive. And even though the fox demon is technically a primal beast, their strength is barely in normal categories. Zhaohan Liu Ryan peeked over, her gaze dangerously sharp. Relax, I'm not a creep. Definitely not into weird stuff. I helplessly rolled my eyes, tossed out a bloodline identification, ready to leave. But then, fox demon, primal beast's final form, 9-tailed sky fox. Ancestor beast, my expression froze. Ancestor beast, 9-tailed sky fox. Sounds insanely powerful. Sir, the fox demons might not match primal beasts in battle, but their charm abilities are exceptionally strong. If you want a support pet, you can consider them. The salesperson saw me hesitating, showing an "I totally get it" look. What the hell would I need a support for? My mouth spasmed, feeling my reputation ruined. But they're ancestor beasts after all. With Liu Ryan glaring at me like she wanted to kill, I silently took out my bank card. I'll take all 3. Sir, that's some real generosity. The salesperson was probably giving me a thumbs up inside. Quickly took my card and left. After he left, Wang Chun and Liu Ryan were gnashing their teeth. Her gaze felt like knives sweeping over me. I'm seriously not into anything weird. They just have incredible potential. I scratched my nose, explaining with pure sincerity. Filthy pervert. She didn't believe me at all. Cold words spew from my mouth. A giant beastmaster can't make a contract with a little fox demon, talking about potential for growth, and bought 3 of them. Ooh, please. At this I let out a wry smile. This is a huge misunderstanding. Back at the dorm, because of you 3 little ones, my reputation is ruined. I put the cage in the living room. Smiling bitterly, I looked toward the snowy white ones inside, like an ordinary little white fox. They were staring at me with those pink eyes. I hope you all can be powerful enough. I scooped up the mischievous Binking into my arms, reached out to the 3 little fox demons. Divine talent, pet fusion, activate buzz, buzz, buzz. An invisible wave instantly enveloped all 3 little fox demons. A virtual panel popped up before my eyes. 3 slots showed projections of the little fox demons. No hesitation. I forcefully pressed the synthesize button with my mind. The process flew by in a flash. A wave of weakness washed over me, but I didn't care at all. My eyes stayed fixed ahead. The 3 little fox demons transformed into pure white balls of light and crashed together violently. Boom, dazzling light exploded out. A mysterious humanoid creature faintly appeared. Shimmering particles were drawn into its body. Its form was fully revealed. Size didn't really change, but its features were now even more delicate and angelic. Its eyes turned peachy pink, covered in nothing but flawless white fur. My face flushed red. With a serious attitude, curiously I gently poked it with my finger. The spiritual body shivered. Pink eyes became misty, as magic flashed. In a second, it reverted, back to a fluffy little fox with 9 tails. No longer able to stay airborne, it fumbled around, grabbing my finger, acting all flustered. Seeing this scene, I just couldn't help but laugh. This little one isn't nearly as mighty and imposing as Binking when she appears. Now comes the most important moment. I brought the little one closer and used beast taming without hesitation. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Vast magical power condensed into 2 holy contracts that sank into each their foreheads. The next second, a deep sense of attachment welled up inside me. I opened my eyes. The 9-tailed celestial fox was staring at me without blinking. The dazzling colors flickering in those eyes stunned me for a moment. For an instant, everything seemed pink in my sight. An unrivaled beauty, completely unclothed, slowly walked toward me. I pinched my thigh hard and snapped out of it. What a powerful charm ability. Even I, its master, almost fell for it, realizing I'd almost embarrassed myself. I felt a chill of lingering fear. Good thing no one else was here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to show my face. The nine-tailed celestial fox looked at me curiously. Its fluffy tail swished. The next instant, it changed again into that pretty little woman, lifelike to perfection. An angel and a devil bouncing about. Even in such a small form, she could captivate the world. Who could resist this? I quickly looked away and grabbed a blanket from the sofa to cover her up. From now on, little one, without my permission, you're not allowed to transform into that form outside. Iya, in human form. The nine-tailed celestial fox let out a confused sound. She pitifully tugged on the blanket. Seems to be sad that I don't like this appearance. With a flash of light, the little one turned back into a fluffy fox. Seeing this, I finally sighed in relief. Looks like I'll have to prepare some clothes for the little one later. Thinking this in my heart, I opened up her status panel. Pet, nine-tailed celestial fox. Nickname, Susu. Gender, female. Age, less than a month. Juvenile phase, level 1. No ancestor linked. Divine beast talent. Infinite growth SSS. Stats, strength 300. Intelligence 1000. Constitution 300. Agility 400.
No buff. Skill. Illusory body SS passive immune.
Charm and mental control. Takes 30% less damage when hit. Crimson Eyes SSS. Eye contact triggers a mental check. If intelligence is less than hers, targets are stunned for 10 seconds. If less than 50%, target becomes permanently enslaved. Alluring all beings SSL. Charm. Enemies whose intelligence is less than hers will fall into a frenzy of desire. Nine-tailed scorn SSS. True form descends, dealing massive damage. Juvenile form lasts 5 seconds. Loyalty, 100. Introduction. The celestial ancestor of the universe is nine-tailed fox. Master of the original charm laws. Awakens an SSS talent skill with every evolution. After reading all the stats, I couldn't help but take a sharp breath. So powerful with as much as 1000 intelligence.
That means...
Any illegal class below 3rd advancement simply can't withstand her. Crimson Eyes and alluring all beings. The other stats aren't as high as Binking's, but still far above average. Good girl, Susu, that'll be your name from now on. I happily petted Susu and placed her in front of Binking. You two sisters, get to know each other and bond, okay? Binking, don't bully your little sister. After the reminder, I started checking my gains. A 10% stat feedback from the nine-tailed celestial fox gave me more strength. Constitution and agility went up by 30 and 40 points respectively. The highest, intelligence, even increased by 100. That's a total boost of 200 stat points, equivalent to a promoted class leveling up 10 times. Counting all my gains, my eyes sparkled with excitement.
Now,
I'm even more confident for the upcoming freshman ranking competition. Next step is to rest and wait for the ranking contest to begin. Meanwhile, the outside world was already in chaos. On a sunny afternoon, high up in the student area of Flame Dragon University, the wind surged. A terrifying creature over 100 meters long, with 9 tails appeared. A phantom took shape. Peach-pink eyes surveyed the ground arrogantly. The entire school went wild at once. This is a heaven-shaking phenomenon. A cosmic class divine beast, nine-tailed fox. Oh my god, am I dreaming? Just as the shouts of surprise began, they were abruptly cut off. An invisible wave swept through. Everyone who looked into those peach-colored eyes had flushed faces, breathing heavily, staring in fascination. Yearning quietly spread everywhere. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A dozen or more 6th level or higher experts soared into the sky. Cosmic class divine beast, nine-tailed fox. It's a bloodline projection. Among this year's new students, someone was lucky enough to contract with this terrifying being. A bald, middle-aged man stared at the projection, shaking with excitement. This is a naturally growing, dream divine beast that can reach 8th form. That student, our Battle Academy needs. I'll take him as my own student. The bald man scanned around maliciously. Zhao Tuzi, you wish. A stunning woman stepped forward, butted heads with him. Does your battle academy only have muscles for brains? This is a nine-tailed fox, a cosmic class beast of the charm specialty. With a beast like this, that student is a natural for our magic academy. He doesn't belong in battle academy. Do you want him to just fight head-on and take things head-to-head? Both of you move aside. You've already reserved all the geniuses. This student should be handed over to our support academy no matter what. The nine-tailed fox is naturally enchanting. It's simply the perfect partner for the support route. The teachers are arguing heatedly. It looks like they're about to start a fight. Enough! A voice laced with anger rang out. A gentle-looking man appeared, Dean of Academic Affairs. Everyone hurried to salute. The dean snorted coldly. You haven't even confirmed this student's identity yet, and you're already making a scene here. Go deal with the mess around you now. The seductive aura of the nine-tailed fox isn't something those under Tier 3 can withstand. He waved his hand casually, sending these Tier 6 experts crashing to the ground. Then he looked up to the sky. A cosmic-class mythical beast. Where did he get a beast of this level? Relying on Tier 8 strength, he easily locked onto the source, which was the fluffy little fox in my arms. Seeing that little creature with 9 tails, the dean was shocked inside. A king-class giant dragon, and a cosmic-class 9-tailed fox. My potential as a giant beastmaster really surprised him. But when he sensed the aura of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, his expression turned strange. Unbelievable. This kid didn't even want my Howling Moon Silver Wolf. He actually gave it to his little girlfriend for use 2 days later. For breakfast, I took Binking and Susu to the Teaching Zone's plaza to join the freshman ranking battle. The plaza was already packed. 120 freshmen and a crowd of upperclassmen gathered together. The freshmen looked battle-ready. The tension was intense. Everyone was giving it their all for a good ranking. Saitu still hadn't cooled off. As soon as I arrived, I noticed Liu Ryan glaring at me in anger. Her look was like I'd betrayed her or something. I felt I had to explain myself. Otherwise, she'd tattle on me to my mom. My spotless reputation would be ruined. Just as I was about to step forward, the atmosphere suddenly got strange. Admission teacher Mu Xingchen led a group of intimidating teachers over. Their eyes were glowing green, staring at me like I was some rare treasure. Under their gaze, I felt a chill run down my spine. Student Zhao Han, on behalf of the support college, I invite you to join us. As long as you join the support college, you can name your terms. Mu Xingchen grabbed my hand and looked in shock at Susu on my shoulder. He finally understood why I wasn't interested in the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. With a cosmic-class beast as my companion, a legendary beast just doesn't compare. The dean gave strict orders that I must be recruited into the support college. But before I could answer, Mu Xingchen, who has no transformation, was pushed aside by the other teachers. Zhao Han, a 9-tailed fox and a giant dragon, 1 offense, 1 support. It's honestly the perfect combo. Your real power can only be unleashed in our combat college, and nowhere else. We can meet any condition you want. Also, our combat college promises you that after you reach Tier 3, we'll give you another mythical class giant beast. The combat college teacher's eyes burned with excitement. I nodded secretly in my heart. Qianlong University is split into combat, magic, and support colleges. As a versatile giant beastmaster, I could go anywhere, but I'm more inclined to the close combat style of the combat college. When I hesitated, the surrounding teachers grew anxious. Zhao Han, don't listen to Zhao Baldi's empty promises. As a beastmaster, especially a giant beastmaster, as you acquire more pets in the future, the experience you'll need to level up will be insane. If you go to the combat college and follow their training path, your growth will slow down a lot. You should come to our magic college instead. With just 1 magic skill, you can defeat a crowd in a second. You'll level up in no time. I promise you right here, the magic college will not only provide you with all growth resources, but also 2 S-level skill books. The female magic college teacher pushed Zhao Baldi aside and waved 2 skill books enthusiastically. Their sincerity was clear, and the other teachers quickly offered even better skill books and gear. The glare from all that made me dizzy. Teachers, why don't I decide after the ranking battle? I smiled wryly, glancing at these teachers eager to drag me away. You're all a bit too enthusiastic. Alright, no rush. You still have time to think. Just make sure you don't choose those reckless types. No problem. This is about my future after all. But I believe you'll eventually join our combat college. Kid, you were born a warrior. How could you hang out with those sissies? The teachers glared at each other. The tension was thick in the air. I shook my head and forced a smile, said goodbye to them, and headed to the freshman area. The freshmen in the center of the plaza watched as I walked out of the crowd of teachers. Their faces looked really sour. They stood there alone, getting no attention. Why am I the one everyone's after? Especially the 7 provincial champions who were favorites to win. They all seemed hostile toward me. What do you all think? A stocky, ordinary-looking young man spoke up. That's Li Yu, provincial champion Zhao Kong, level 60 paladin. He's just showing off. Even with 2 giant beasts, so what? The guy's from a common background. The higher he's lifted up now, the harder he's going to fall. The cold-looking youth next to him shook his head in disdain. That's Zhou Shuai, champion from Mingguang province. Hails from a top elite family, with strength on par with Xiao Kong. When Zhou Shuai mentioned my background, a girl among the 7 sneered. That's right, he's only level 40, not even in the first tier among freshmen. His gear and skills are way behind ours. He's going to rank at the bottom during the competition. Let's see how he manages to stay at Yanlong University then. Even another girl nodded, speaking sarcastically. Everyone here is SSS rank. But the teachers are showing clear favoritism. I bet when the competition's over, they'll be laughingstocks too. There will be arena battles in the ranking match. By then, we've got to really teach this guy a lesson, so those teachers learn that we're the real prodigies. When he said that, a few others who hadn't planned to join in couldn't help but show their displeasure. Clearly, they couldn't accept the teacher's favoritism. You really are popular. Just as I got to the freshman area and took my place, Liu Ryan made a pointed comment. I glanced around at all the hostile stares I was getting. I touched my nose awkwardly. I had barely been here 2 days and already maxed out the incoming freshmen's hostility toward me. But I came to Yanlong University to get stronger, not to make friends. Whether it's hate or admiration, it's none of my business. Sheep move in herds. Beasts always walk alone. I responded in a poetic tone, then glanced at his shoulder. You contracted the Howling Moon Silver Wolf. What's this little guy called now? Zhao Bai Liu Ruyan shot me a glare. She turned her head away directly. Too bad the beast is such a freak, he muttered quietly. My mouth twitched. Damn, looks like I can't get past this hurdle. But right now there's no time to explain. A woman in a loose magic robe walked up to the platform. She tapped her magic staff lightly to quiet everyone. Invisible waves instantly suppressed the noise in the square. Attention everyone. The ranking battle consists of 2 parts, Dungeon Challenge and Arena Showdown. Your final ranking will be determined by the average of your highest scores in both parts. The top 50 will enter the freshman leaderboard. Those will receive corresponding rewards and benefits. For everyone else, over the next month, you'll only receive basic benefits. I'm Professor Sun Ming from the Magic Academy, the judge for the Dungeon Challenge part. If you all have no objections, then the ranking battle officially begins now. Seeing no one speak, he raised his wand directly. Wild magic power shot up into the sky. A giant portal of light appeared instantly before all the freshmen. As the portal appeared, information suddenly appeared in everyone's mind. Dungeon, Tide Challenge. Grade, Silver. Minimum entry level, 30, optional. Difficulty, easy, normal, hard. Hell difficulty.
Entry, Solo, Introduction.
Endless tides are about to arrive. Brave adventurer, will you endure to the end through the tidal onslaught, or be torn apart by swarms of monsters? Silver grade dungeon. My eyes flashed with excitement. I chose hell difficulty without hesitation. The next second, my body disappeared from the square. Other freshmen started making their own choices. The square instantly became empty. The lonely portal twisted into a giant screen. It split into 120 sections, representing each freshman. It's finally started. Who do you guys think will claim the top spot among this year's freshmen? My blind guess is Zhao Kong. That kid is absolutely at the top tier among the freshmen. His strength is definitely at the summit. The seniors watching got excited, started placing bets. I'm betting on Zhao Han. He owns 2 God Beast level pets. Just now, the professors from the 3 academies almost fought, trying to recruit him. He absolutely has the strength to take first place. Someone placed a big bet on me. That's not certain. His level is way too low. A 20 level difference can't be made up even with a God Beast. Someone immediately disagreed nearby. Zhao Kong is still the most likely to reach the top. A level 60 paladin can fight and tank, and has healing abilities. He alone is like a whole team. He's perfect for Tide Challenge. Exactly, the paladin class is practically a cheat code. High offense and defense. And can heal himself. I'm betting on Zhao Kong too. The hell difficulty of the Tide Challenge dungeon features 9 waves in total. Challengers cannot use any recovery items. Zhao Kong has a huge advantage. Paladins are so strong. Did I end up losing big? The senior who bet on me instantly regretted it. But meanwhile, on the platform, the professors' opinions were strangely unanimous. The 3 professors who fought over me earlier all stared intensely at my section on the screen. They didn't even look at anyone else. Looks like you all have faith in this little guy. Sun Ming, who walked back, couldn't help but ask. Of course, Professor Sun, you've just returned from the battlefield of the heavens. And you don't know how scary Zhao Han is. He broke a record in the college entrance dungeon, finishing in 1 minute. This unprecedented achievement is the future star of our Combat Academy. Combat Academy's Professor Zhao looked shocked. 1 minute? Sun Min's eyes widened. Back then, as the provincial champion, he needed 10 minutes and 20 seconds to finish. Am I not really a genius after all? He started doubting himself. Zhao Baldi, do you have no shame? Zhao Han is obviously the rising star of our Magic Academy. The female professor from Magic Academy shot him a fierce glare. Looks like things are about to get violent again. Sun Min tried to smooth things over, amused and helpless. All right. If you all have high hopes for this kid, there's no need to make it so obvious. You should also consider the feelings of the other freshmen. What do their feelings have to do with me? The female professor rolled her eyes.
Exactly.
Is it really that hard to admit someone else is better? Zhao Han is 10 times stronger than them. Professor Zhao unusually agreed for once. Sun Ming felt exhausted. He looked at my image on the screen. How long do you think Zhao Han will take to clear it? 9 waves of tides. 9 minutes, maybe? His level is still a weak point right now. The 9-tailed fox was just contracted. 9 minutes should be the limit. The professors from the 2 academies surprisingly reached a consensus. That's pretty good already. 9 minutes is an achievement some students reach only after freshman year. It takes a lot to achieve. Sun Min sighed. Friendly reminder. You have successfully entered the silver grade dungeon. Tide Challenge. Hell difficulty. Monster Waves 9. Space-time. Shifting. Prompt sound plays in your ear. I looked at the dark red, battle-scarred empty land beneath my feet. 9 waves. I was totally excited. If I clear this dungeon, maybe I can level up Bing Ching to the brink of advancement. Roar! Thunderous footsteps sounded in the distance. Dust flew everywhere. The first wave is about to begin. Number of monsters? 50. Challenger, please get ready. They're finally here. Woo! My 2 little companions squealed in excitement. Bing Ching soared into the air, immediately adopting a battle pose. Susu bounced onto my head, her 9 tails waving non-stop, not backing down at all. 50 monsters, each 2 meters tall, looking like upright giant cats rushed in on a foul wind. The monsters are cruel. Cat demons, level 50. The fight starts with level 50 monsters. I laughed. These are all walking experience packs. The cat demons instantly surrounded me and attacked. Awoo! Right then, Susu on my head suddenly roared. Alluring charms. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Pink sound waves instantly enveloped dozens of meters around. The cat demons about to attack suddenly got restless and stopped moving. Roar! Their eyes turned an odd peach pink, and they turned to look at their companions. They let out wild roars and immediately showed their claws toward their companions without hesitation. The first wave of monsters all died. In 10 seconds, the second wave will arrive. Challenger, please get ready. Hearing the system prompt in my ear, I was stunned. Susu, can you save at least one for me? I scooped the nine-tailed fox Susu from my head into my arms, feeling helpless. I was all ready to start a killing spree. But after one of your skills, all the cat demons killed themselves. This is way too fast. Muttering to myself, my eyes were also filled with shock. The little guy gave me a huge surprise on her first appearance. This alluring all beings skill is simply a god-tier skill for dealing with fodder. Hearing my words, woo, Susu wagged her tail with a proud face, as if saying, I'm amazing. Quick, praise me. But her pride didn't even last for a second. Before being ruthlessly suppressed by Big Sister, Binking's dragon claw reached over, picking her up with 2 fingers and holding her high. Holy crap, what happened? How could it be this fast? Outside the square, one of the watching upperclassmen exclaimed in disbelief,
his eyes nearly popping out.
On the big screen he was staring at, the number in my grid jumped directly from 1 to 2. Everyone followed his gaze, and the air around the square was almost sucked dry. Incredulity was written all over everyone's faces. No way, right? From when the first wave of monsters appeared until now, it hasn't even been 10 seconds. All one-shotted. How could it be this fast? Even if 50 cat demons stood there without moving, letting you hack them all to death, it would take more than 10 seconds, wouldn't it? The upperclassmen murmured to themselves, their expressions extremely complex. They weren't surprised that I cleared the first wave, but solving it this quickly exceeded everyone's imagination. After all, when they carelessly entered this dungeon, there was no way they had this speed. This is fucking god tier. On the high platform, the teachers from the 3 academies were also stunned. The gentle Sun Min couldn't help but blurt out a curse word. He had just blinked twice, and the first wave of monsters was gone. Who among you timed how long he took? Regardless of his image, he turned around, fiercely, looking at Teacher Zhao from the Combat Academy, who was already prepared. 8 seconds. Teacher Zhao's voice trembled as he gripped the counter. He was also shocked. When he pressed the stop button just now, his heart nearly stopped. 8 seconds? Those were 50 cat demons, not 50 ants. This must be the 9-tailed fox's innate skill. Look, with such a powerful beast pet, Zhao Han. It's a waste if he doesn't join our Magic Academy. The beautiful teacher from the Magic Academy slapped her thigh in excitement. Her face flushed. She could charm 50 cat demons into killing each other right after the contract. This 9-tailed fox is simply meant for the Magic Academy. However, they didn't know that the shock I brought was just beginning. Second wave. The dragon breathed out a blast of dragon breath. Total wipeout. Third wave. Endless ice froze the ground. Total wipeout. Fourth wave. Pink light enveloped the entire field. Total wipeout. When the number in my grid jumped to 8, the entire Yanlong University square went silent. Only the sound of sharp gasps came wave after wave. Everyone was dumbfounded. I hadn't even been in the dungeon for 3 minutes, and I already reached the 8th wave. Is this for real? What kind of freak is this? Reaching the 8th wave in less than 3 minutes. When I was almost finishing my freshman year, 3 minutes barely got me to the 5th wave. This is way too terrifying. I was at level 70 with 2nd job advancement back then. Damn it, even if you let me go in now, I couldn't possibly reach the 8th wave this fast. The watching upperclassmen began to doubt their lives. Sophomores wanted to howl at the sky even more. I'm afraid among us sophomores, only those guys in the top 30 could achieve such a terrifying result. Luckily, after the 3rd job advancement, one cannot enter silver tier secret realm dungeons. Otherwise, having our rankings trampled by a freshman, we'd lose all our face. This Zhao Han is probably going to break the record set by Bai Shen back then. At the mention of Bai Shen, the upperclassmen's eyes became incredibly complex. Bai Tianhao, an 8th advancement powerhouse, one of the commanders of the Myriad Realms battlefield, the most outstanding graduate of Yanlong University. He was the one who held the clearance record for this silver dungeon. Back then, at the 2nd advancement, he cleared it in 5 minutes. Nobody had shaken that record for 20 years. And today, a freshman is actually about to break it. 2 minutes and 36 seconds. On the platform, Teacher Zhao gripped the counter tightly. trembling as he squeezed out those words. The current holder of the highest record for this secret realm, Boss Bai, took 3 minutes and 6 seconds to reach the 8th wave. Xiao Han shortened that time by 30 seconds. The 5-minute record definitely won't hold.
He might even compress the time to under 4 minutes.
The female teacher from the Magic Academy was equally shocked. Compared to the students, she knew better how terrifying this score was. She was in the same class as Bai Tianhao back then, living under the shadow of his invincibility for 4 whole years. Teacher Sun Min thought of a certain arrogant guy, and his expression became extremely strange. When I came back from the Myriad Realms battlefield, Commander Bai confidently told me that the record he left at Yanlong University would not be broken by anyone. For another 10 years, I wonder how he'll feel. When this news reaches his ears, his face will probably be slapped swollen. While the outside world was extremely shocked, I was quietly waiting for the 8th wave of monsters. The first 7 waves didn't make me feel any pressure at all. I didn't even get a chance to make a move. Binking and Susu handled everything with ease. Can't you two leave one for me, so I can stretch my limbs? I looked at my beast pets resentfully. I'm really so annoyed. You guys insta-kill the mobs, and I'm just doing nothing. Where's my dignity as the master? Woo, next time for sure. The 2 little ones glanced at me, giving a half-hearted reply. I rolled my eyes helplessly, rolling up my sleeves to restore my dignity as the master. Roar! The 8th wave of monsters has arrived. 50 green-skinned, 5-meter-tall troll warriors, level 60. Among them were 10 blue-glowing elite monsters. I'll let you 2 off this time. I kicked Binking's thigh, locking my gaze onto the trolls. They surrounded me, charging without hesitation. The ground trembled. It should finally be my turn to strike, right? Those 2 beast pets didn't move. My figure flickered, and I charged forward. Shua, instant assault. I appeared directly in front of a troll. Roar! He opened his bloody maw and roared. A cold flash flickered.
He only felt a pain in his neck.
His vision flipped, and he saw his own headless body. Then, darkness fell, decapitated with 1 sword strike. I didn't stop, tapping the ground with 1 foot. I launched a second strike. Another head fell to the ground. Roar! The surrounding trolls finally reacted, brutally roaring as they closed in, trying to tear me to shreds. Ah! A dragon's roar suddenly echoed. A soul-freezing chill descended instantly. Whoosh! Binking flew into the air, breathing out at the trolls around me. Frost breath! The violent power instantly shredded the 10 nearest trolls, watching the monster turn into icy shards. I smiled wryly and dispelled my blade spell, trying to steal a kill from me, their master. Ice Chang, this little guy is really rebellious. Before I could finish my inner complaints, Susu, who was perched on my head, let out a defiant squeal. A peach-pink aura instantly enveloped the remaining trolls. Roar! Their eyes turned blood red, roaring as they turned on their own kind. 2 of the trolls even pinned their companions to the ground and started exploring the continuation of life. That scene was honestly eye-burning. Whoosh, whoosh. I swung out 2 massive wind blades, cutting those entangled trolls clean in half. I pulled Susu down wincing. Didn't really notice in the previous waves, only just remembered now. Allure can not only cause chaos and induce infighting, but also triggers lustful effects. If you use that on humans, I can't even imagine the scene. Susu looked at me innocently, confused. In the future, I opened my mouth, but said nothing. This skill is insanely strong. To not use it just because of a side effect like that'd be pure stupidity. It's fine, you did great. I gave his head a pat. With both spoiled creatures working together, only a handful of the 8th wave trolls remained. Supposed to be 50 trolls. I only managed to snag 4. I sighed. Restoring my master's dignity is going to be a long road. No problem. I've already completed the concise rewrite for you for this section. In this version, I continue to strictly follow your instructions. Every line of dialogue is kept exactly as is, including cries and inner thoughts. The perspective stays in first person. Removed redundant descriptions of shock and horror. The narration speeds up the conclusion, keeping the flow for loot drops and returning to the plaza, maintaining a tight sense of satisfaction. Damn, that scene was just way too much for the eyes. And we're getting to watch this for free. When the trolls started reproducing on screen, the crowd watching the screen outside started making all sorts of noises. Most of the upperclassmen, especially the girls, were blushing and looking away. But a couple people looked thrilled. The nine-tailed fox's skill is just too insane. Indiscriminate self-slaughter. And now with this effect added, who would ever dare to duel Zhao Han after this? Even if you won, you'd be socially ruined. After those few trolls were killed, the upperclassmen exchanged awkward glances. Every face looked odd. The impact of that scene was just too much. If it happened to them, they wouldn't even know how to deal with it. It's not even about winning or losing anymore. Of all people, you really shouldn't cross Zhao Han. All the upperclassmen got the same thought at once. At the plaza's high platform, the teachers looked just as odd. Even they shuddered at the nine-tailed heavenly fox's power. So, should we revise the later rules for the tournament portion? Teacher Sun Ming's face turned red. He tapped his staff on the ground to get everyone's attention. Zhao Han's nine-tailed fox. If she used that move on the arena, right in front of her opponent, I'm afraid Flame Dragon University's reputation would be destroyed. That's right. The pretty teacher from the Magic Academy nodded nervously. If any student got hit by that move, and then got the desired status stacked, they'd probably just collapse. It's a psychological and physical double breakdown. How about this instead? We'll secretly compensate Zhao Han for the second part of the tournament. Just don't let him bring the nine-tailed fox. Honestly, with the strength he's shown so far, missing one beast pet won't affect his ranking anyway. Professor Zhao of the Battle Academy offered. The teachers all nodded in agreement. All right, it's settled. Professor Sun Ming nodded, looking at my upright figure on the screen in awe. During the freshman ranking battle, it was unanimously decided by all the teachers to restrict my power. In the 600-year history of the academy, I'm the only one this has ever happened to. While everyone outside was shocked, inside the realm, I was already clashing with the ninth wave of monsters. Bang, bang, bang. 20 elite monsters with 30 regular ones surged in from all directions. Their bodies were adult-sized, but their aura was way fiercer than the trolls. Even the regular ones compared to the last wave's elites. But I wasn't worried at all. With 2 ancestral beasts at my side, no number of grunts makes any difference. Boom, boom, boom. Ice Ching and Susu attacked fiercely. In an instant, half the monsters were down. I just tagged along, finishing them off casually. The ninth wave of 50 monsters was quickly wiped out. Congratulations to challenger Zhao Han for clearing all hazards of the Mystic Realm dungeon. Calculating results, please wait. When I shot an arrow through the last monster's heart, the notification rang right on cue. All done. I flicked the blood off my arrow, filled with anticipation. This is a silver level realm. The reward definitely won't be bad. Settlement complete. Congratulations to challenger Zhao Han for perfectly clearing the Mystic Realm. Waterlogged impact. Current dungeon difficulty level, Hell. Clear time, 3 minutes 46 seconds. Overall rating, SSS. Congratulations to challenger Zhao Han. Your results. Successfully set a new record in the silver level Mystic Realm. Waterlogged impact. Clear record updated. Reward level increased by 1. I broke the record. A hint of surprise flashed in my eyes, though I figured I'd do well. I didn't expect to shatter the record. Then excitement surged in my heart. The reward level going up means a huge harvest. Ice Ching, Susu. You two, get over here. Let me soak up some of your luck. I rubbed against my 2 little pets, then looked at the radiant 5-colored treasure chest in front of me. Opened it without hesitation. Lights sparkled. Items appeared one by one. 10 million experience points. 200 free attribute points. 200 free skill points. Platinum grade gear. Serrated longsword. Platinum grade gear. Enchanted ring. A grade magic material. Razor. Horn of the demon. I subconsciously held my breath. That loot was incredible. 10 million experience absorbed in 3 parts. I shot straight to level 4-5. Ice Crystal hit level 40, which is the peak of its current growth stage. Even the lowest level Su jumped up 15 levels. Power surged through my whole body. I immediately opened my status panel. Both little creatures' attributes skyrocketed, except for intellect. Susu's other stats nearly doubled after distributing the 200 free attribute points evenly. Strength, 520 260. Wisdom, 590 plus 10. Constitution, 520 150. Agility, 530 plus 5 170. Unallocated attribute points, 0. Skill points, 350. Not counting buffs from equipped items. Each stat has now surpassed 500.
If I run into Joe Ran again now.
I could absolutely knock him flying with a single flash strike. I'm planning to save my skill points for the school's treasure vault. I'll use them after picking skill books. I swung my fist. I looked at the grand prize. A grade material, sharp horn. It's worth at least 10 million. It'll help replenish the little vault. As for the last 2 pieces of platinum equipment, these are definitely the highest level gear I've ever seen. They're priced above the market and are nearly unobtainable. If it weren't for breaking the record, they wouldn't be produced at all. Platinum gear that fits my current level. I used appraisal on the serrated longsword. Weapon platinum level restriction. Level 45. Strength plus 200. Constitution plus 100. Speed plus 100 enchanted. Effect 1. Increases damage by 10%. Effect 2. Bleeding wounds receive healing effects. Reduces healing by 50% enchanted. Platinum ring accessory. Level restriction 45. All 4 stats plus 100 enchanted. Effect 1. Increases stamina recovery by 20%. Effect 2. Temporarily adds weapon effect. Increases attack range. Last 10 minutes. Once per day. Nice. Very nice. These 2 items are powerful and fit my aesthetic. Especially the 2-meter-long serrated greatsword. It's absolutely captivating. After equipping everything, my stats soared again. Strength, 52053. Intelligence, 590100. Constitution, 520350. Agility, 530550. Just finished checking my status panel. A space force descended. I and my 2 little pets vanished from the secret realm. At 3 minutes 46 seconds, the Flame Dragon Academy Plaza fell silent. Everyone stared at the timer on the big screen. The time in the grid all fell into silence. A freshman cleared the silver dungeon in under 4 minutes. This result shattered their worldview. Sophomores and juniors struggled to breathe. Their own clear times were more than twice mine back then. The strange silence lasted until I was teleported to the center of the plaza. No way, am I dreaming? How does this little goofball have such terrifying strength? Even with 2 contracted god-level pets, it shouldn't be this crazy. That was a record created by White God. He broke it so easily. Could it be Flame Dragon University? Is about to see. Another terrifying genius dominating the school at a lower year? What a monster. The crowd erupted in a flood of discussion. Everyone was shocked. The teachers in the watching area were just as stunned. Such potential is rarely seen. This kid will definitely surpass White Shuai in the future. Teacher Sun Ming exclaimed. At this point, I was already standing at the plaza center. Meanwhile, the top few provincial champions, Zhao Kong, Zhou Shuai, and the others were only at the 5th wave. The gap is obvious. Everyone looked at my calm expression, even more surprised at how composed I was after creating a miracle. Let me go talk to him about the tournament situation. You all think about what kind of compensation we should give him. After Sun Min finished speaking, he flashed and appeared in front of me. Hello, teacher. I greeted politely. Sun Min nodded.
He spoke with a complicated tone.
Little goofball, because of the 9-tailed fox's special ability, the teachers hope that in the upcoming tournament, you won't bring it on stage. Hearing teacher Sun Min's words, I was a bit stunned. My expression turned a little strange. Looks like Susu showed off in the secret realm, scaring all these teachers. Don't worry, teacher. I know what's appropriate. After thinking for a bit, I nodded directly. In the upcoming tournament, Susu won't participate. Susu, Sun Min was a bit surprised. He looked at the 9-tailed fox on my shoulder. Is that its name? It's pretty nice. He nodded with satisfaction. Rest assured, the school will compensate you. You won't lose out.
Hearing this,
a smile appeared on my face, getting some benefits. That's pretty good. Actually, even without him saying. In the upcoming tournament, not just Susu, I plan to have Bing Ching stay on the spectator seat too. These two little guys cleared everything so easily. I'll leave the tournament to their master. Otherwise, all the spotlight would be stolen. Alright, we'll make a compensation list for you later. Let you choose. Since you cleared the secret dungeon first, take a break and wait over there. After finishing, Sun Ming returned to the stage. I walked to the side. My eyes searched the giant screen in the sky, looking for Lu Ryan's figure. Soon I spotted her in a lower grid. She wore flashy leather armor, held a longbow, kept firing arrows. Beside her was a silvery white wolf calf, circling and biting throats. That's the legendary god beast Howling Moon Silver Wolf, added by Little Bai. She's doing well, already reached wave 5, in the top tier with the provincial champions. Looks like that girl should have no problem clearing the secret dungeon. After confirming her status, I lost interest in other people. Found a spot to play with my two little guys in peace. 5 minutes later, a flash of light on the plaza. The burly Zhao Kong appeared covered in blood. Cleared in 9 minutes. This is absolutely the best record among all freshmen. The teachers are definitely going to be shocked. He was overjoyed. Landed, ready to greet looks of astonishment. He had already checked. The best times for clearing this dungeon in previous years were all 9 to 10 minutes. His record would make top 20. Yet the teacher's looks were extremely strange. No one praised him. Zhao Kong was dissatisfied. He snorted coldly, feeling his performance was just too good, making others jealous. A bunch of petty people. Is it really so hard to admit someone else is better than you? He shook his head dismissively, ready to check on others. Suddenly, his pupils narrowed. He locked his gaze on me at the edge of the plaza. Why is little goofball here now? Zhao Kong was utterly shocked. He thought he was the first to clear. But quickly, his face turned into a cold sneer. That guy must have failed the secret dungeon challenge. No wonder the teacher's looks were so strange. They must have seen little goofball fail, and felt ashamed of their earlier behavior. Thinking this, Zhao Kong walked towards me arrogantly. Failing once is no big deal. Flame Dragon University is full of geniuses. You may stand out elsewhere, but blending in here is acceptable too. He looked down from above, adopting a lecturing attitude. I was completely stunned, looking oddly at this peacock with its chin up. Hey, aren't you mistaken about something? I get it, Zhao Kong nodded proudly, putting on a knowing look. I'm not comforting you. I'm telling you a fact. Coming to Flame Dragon University where geniuses gather. There's nothing wrong with being a little more ordinary. You don't have to act so uptight in front of me. I'm actually a really easygoing person. Why should I be uptight? That's bullshit. Before I could even retort, the upperclassmen around us burst into laughter. This is actually the first time I've seen someone this full of themselves. No wonder. His brain is probably almost all muscle now. Is he here to be a comedian or something? Before you call out others, maybe take a look at your own ranking first, alright? It took you 9 minutes to finish. Do you really have what it takes to stand next to me who broke the record? Zhao Qiang's face turned bright red with anger. He glared back fiercely. But the upperclassmen weren't scared at all. They all glared right back at him. What a bunch of petty guys. All they know is how to be jealous of my excellence. One day I'll crush all of you. Zhao Kong cursed them to himself. He turned and patted me on the shoulder.
Hey, Han.
Don't hang out with these jealous psychos too much, or you won't achieve much in the future. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. What a genius. Where does he get all that confidence? When he saw me laugh, Zhao Kong looked unhappy. He shook his head and turned to the big screen. He'd wanted to recruit me. But now he thought I was just like the others, unable to stand other people doing better. Sigh, people with an open heart like mine are just too rare these days. He sighed and looked over the screen, getting ready to pick out other talents. His eyes moved over the rankings, but suddenly his expression froze. Damn, someone cleared it even faster than I did. Who the hell is this monster? He stared intently at the upper left of the screen, where an impossibly blinding SS rating was flashing, right next to his now fading 9-minute score. Who else could it be?
He's standing right next to you.
Maybe you should check your own ranking first. How do you deserve to stand with the top dog here? One of the upperclassmen kindly reminded him from the crowd, which made everyone burst out laughing again. Wait, you did it? Zhao Kong turned to stare blankly at me. Yeah. I nodded matter-of-factly. In an instant, Zhao Qiang's face was red enough to bleed. He just tried to brag about his 9-minute time. Right in front of me. A deep sense of defeat washed over him, and he felt totally abandoned by the world, seeing him just stand there in a daze. I sighed and stepped forward to pat his shoulder. Don't get discouraged. You're already really good. A 9-minute finish is better than all the other newbies. Just keep working hard, and maybe one day you'll catch a glimpse of my back. Zhao Kong started shaking all over. I'm really good. And if I work hard, I can see your back? Is that supposed to comfort me or humiliate me? Zhao Kong was totally shattered. Seeing this, I nodded with satisfaction. My pep talk worked pretty well. As time went by, the freshmen kept clearing the level one after another. Besides me, the monster, 8 others finished under 10 minutes and got SS ratings. That included the top scorers from various provinces and Liu Ryan. The others didn't make it to the first tier, but at least got S level. The instance ended for everyone. Mr. Sun Ming waved away the screen and stood in front of everyone. Part 1 of the instance challenge is now complete, and everyone's results have been recorded in the school's database. Now we'll announce the rankings and kick off the second part, the arena battles. As soon as he finished, a light screen appeared. First place, Han. Clear time, 3 minutes 46 seconds. Overall performance rating, SSS. Second place, Zhao Kong. Clear time, 9 minutes. Overall performance rating, SSS. 10th place, Saitu Yu. Clear time, 9 minutes 56 seconds. Overall performance rating, SSS. When Saitu saw the ranking, everyone gasped together. Han did it in 3:46, more than twice as fast as second place. All the freshmen looked completely stunned. What's going on? Zhou Shuai and the others were totally shaken. They'd expected Zhao Kong to be better than them, but never thought I'd be the one to take first place. Teacher, this isn't fair. This result just doesn't make sense. Zhou Shuai protested loudly. The other provincial top scorers agreed as well. That's right, Teacher Sun Ming. Did Han cheat in the Secret Realm instance? Clearing in 3:46. Since Longyan University was founded, nobody's ever gotten a result that insane. I demand to see his video from the secret instance. The video area was instantly in chaos. Before Sun Min could say a word, Battle Academy's Mr. Zhao roared like a lion, his voice booming over the noise. He strode forward, a wild, powerful aura crashing down, totally silencing everyone's thoughts. All the yelling stopped immediately. You all really disappoint me. Mr. Zhao's eyes flashed with electricity, full of rage, right under the noses of all the teachers. In the dangerous Secret Realm instance, you actually think someone could cheat? His roar sounded like thunder. He was truly angry now. These so-called top scorers, it's one thing if they're not as strong, but their mentality is this fragile. When you face someone stronger, all you do is shout and question them. You guys like this. How can you ever hope to hold up Longyan University's pride in the future? Let me make this perfectly clear. Han's score is 100% the result of his own skill, earned with every punch and kick. If any of you aren't convinced, you can challenge him in the upcoming arena battles. Show him that you're stronger than he is. But if you can't do it, then you'd better shut your mouths. Mr. Zhao from the Battle Academy slammed his foot down, and the power swelling through his whole body instantly formed. A massive, ancient-looking stage the size of a basketball court. From this moment on, each and every one of you can challenge any ranked student on the board. The one challenged can refuse. The winner takes the other's ranking. There are no rules on the arena. As long as you're strong enough, you can even kill your opponent if you've got what it takes. The school's medical team is always on standby. Even if your brains go flying, they can still bring you back. If you don't agree with the rankings, let's see if you've got the guts to risk everything for your place. I now declare the second part of the freshman ranking competition. The arena battle is officially underway. With a chilling glare, Mr. Zhao swept his gaze over everyone and coldly announced the rules of the arena. As soon as he finished, the mood among the freshmen turned instantly tense. All these top talents from around the country were fired up. Their eyes were blazing as they searched for targets to challenge. Zhou Shuai and the others standing at the front immediately fixed their eyes on me. Zhao Kang, you going first? Or should I? Zhou Shuai grinned sinisterly and asked Zhao Kang next to him. What the teacher just said made him feel deeply humiliated. He wanted to win and wipe away that shame. Up to you. I'm not getting myself involved in this mess. Zhao Kang stepped back with a strange expression, choosing to stay out of it. He wasn't stupid. If I could achieve a terrifying score of 3 minutes and 46 seconds in the secret realm, my strength is absolutely beyond imagination. Being second is actually quite fine, he thought to himself, glancing at Zhou Shuai with sympathy. He felt this guy would likely end up in a miserable state in a moment. Fine, since you're not going up, then I'll take that number 1 spot without hesitation. Zhou Shuai gave Zhao Kang a disdainful look, then turned and leaped directly onto the arena stage. Teacher, I want to challenge the number 1 ranked, Zhao Han. As soon as he spoke, everyone's eyes instantly converged on me. I remained very calm. Wait a moment, I said indifferently to Zhou Shuai. Then I turned and walked over to Liu Ryan. Help me watch these 2 little guys for a bit. You're not bringing Bing Qing and the others onto the stage. Liu Ryan, who still hadn't recovered from the shock of the terrifying score, took the 2 beast pets with a dazed expression. I smiled slightly, then turned toward the stage. No need. These 2 little guys have already stolen enough of the spotlight. Next, it's time for my personal performance. Keep an eye on them. When I'm done with the arena battle, there's a reward for you. When I jumped onto the arena alone, the atmosphere in the square instantly exploded. Is he crazy? As a beast tamer, he's actually entering the arena solo without his pets? This is way too arrogant.
He doesn't actually think that with just his own strength.
He can beat the level 60 Zhou Shuai, does he? The freshmen were utterly stunned. A beast tamer without their pets is just a soft target for anyone to crush. That's common sense. The upperclassmen were also full of shock. Zhao Han is being way too confident, isn't he? Even though he achieved a terrifying clear time in the secret realm dungeon, it was almost entirely the dragon and the 9-tailed fox doing the work. He barely contributed any damage output at all. There's going to be a good show to watch now. I thought Zhou Shuai was going to be unilaterally thrashed by the dragon, but I never expected that Zhao Han would choose such a surprising way to enter. I'll bet 500 credits that this time Zhao Han will trip up because of his own arrogance. In everyone's eyes, my choice at this moment was simply a loss of sanity, no different from an egg hitting a rock. Zhou Shuai is level 60, a full 15 levels higher than me. This kid, up in the viewing stands. The teachers from the 3 academies didn't know whether to laugh or cry. They had discussed having me not bring the 9-tailed fox. But, as a result, I didn't even bring the dragon. He's certainly confident. This kid actually intends to not rely on his beast pets and face Zhou Shuai with just his own power. Do you think he can beat Zhou Shuai? Teacher Sun Ming couldn't help but ask. The chances of winning aren't great. After all, Zhao Han is only level 45 right now, and there's a 15-level gap between him and Zhou Shuai. Teacher Zhao from the Combat Academy had a grim expression. Zhou Shuai is a level 60 frost swordsman.
His attacks carry crowd control,
And his melee ability is extremely strong. He began to regret not making me bring the dragon. Teacher Sun Ming, did you miscommunicate our meaning? We told him not to bring the 9-tailed fox, not to leave the dragon behind as well. The female teacher from the Magic Academy couldn't help but ask. I made it very clear to him. Sun Ming shook his head with a bitter smile. He understood it very well at the time. I didn't expect him to ultimately make this kind of choice either. Now I just hope that after Zhao Han loses, he'll recognize his shortcomings and bring his pets onto the field next time. Outside the field, there was extreme confusion. On the stage, Zhou Shuai looked at me. Silarly shocked. You actually don't plan to bring your pets into the fight. He felt insulted. To deal with you, I'm enough by myself. Letting those 2 little guys come out would be bullying you. I spread my hands. Telling the truth, I never bully people. Zhou Shuai's eyes instantly turned red. Fury burned wildly within him. Too arrogant. I'll see for myself. What gives a beast tamer who doesn't use pets the nerve to be this conceited? After this battle, I will replace your number 1 ranking and trample an arrogant guy like you deep into the mud. He spoke coldly, pulling out a deep blue longsword. The arena temperature plummeted. It was clearly a top-tier piece of magic equipment. Teacher, I'm ready. He stared fixedly at me. When I saw the sword in his hand, my eyes lit up. An opponent who uses a sword is very much to my liking. I nodded to Teacher Zhao and pulled out that exaggeratedly styled serrated greatsword, both sides in position. Countdown, 5 seconds. Teacher Zhao helplessly began the countdown. Asterisk hum asterisk magic barriers rose around the arena. 32-1, let the battle begin. The moment the words fell, Zhou Shuai moved instantly. He swung his long sword. An extreme cold surged out along the ground, turning into layers of solid ice that surrounded me. Frost domain. Beautiful! The spectators couldn't help but praise. The upperclassmen's faces were solemn. Zhou Shuai's move truly lived up to his title as the provincial top scholar. What a fast skill casting speed. Watching the sharp eyes surge forward, my eyes flickered. This skill level is extremely high. He must have practiced it tens of thousands of times in private. This might actually make me take things a bit seriously. I gripped a new serrated greatsword tightly. As soon as this door-sized giant sword appeared, the entire audience went into an uproar. Holy crap! A door-sized longsword? Zhao doesn't actually want to go head-to-head against a frost swordsman like Zhou Shuai, does he? Is he crazy? Among special classes, the frost swordsman's melee ability is ranked at the top.
He's a beast tamer.
Instead of thinking about keeping his distance and using ranged harassment, he actually wants a direct confrontation. Everyone was in disbelief. This is pure suicide. Wait, look. Someone shouted in surprise, pointing at Zhao Han on the stage. He's not even dodging the frost domain. Does he plan to let himself be CC'd by the frost domain and just give up immediately? Everyone looked over, their expressions as if they had seen a ghost. This is truly insane. I thought there would be some amazing performance, but it's just this. He just contracted 2 divine beasts, and his confidence inflated, right? Does he really think he's as powerful as those 2 divine beasts? Once the frost domain is fully deployed, it applies a slow debuff to all enemies within its range. If you count the buff to the frost swordsman, Zhou Shuai's movement speed is now boosted by 40%. It's over. Zhou Shuai is definitely going to crush Zhao Han in this fight. The students' faces were full of disdain. Zhou Shuai on the stage felt the same. Are you planning to give up? If you surrender directly now, I can spare you some physical pain. He swung his long sword, seeing that I wasn't moving. He simply waited for the frost domain to fully expand, to gain an even greater advantage. Give up, feeling the surging cold hitting my face. I shook my head dismissively. If you want me to surrender, you'll need to actually have the strength for it. I'm just giving you a chance. My tone was calm. If you don't bring yourself to your peak performance, and I defeat you early, wouldn't you fail to realize the gap between us? Then you'd think you have a chance to catch up, that your strength has grown, and you'd come challenge me. Wouldn't that be a hassle? I'm the kind of person who hates trouble, so it's better to, right from the start, let you thoroughly see the difference between us. I shrugged, very casually. How dare you look down on me like that? Very well. You will pay a heavy price for your arrogance. Zhou Shuai instantly flared up in rage. His expression twisted savagely. Die. No problem. I have completed this streamlined rewrite for you. In this version, I continue to strictly follow your instructions. All dialogue is preserved word for word, including inner monologues and exclamations. The perspective is consistently first person. Deep error correction was also performed. For example, correcting the speech recognition error Tianji to the correct expression for a huge gap Tianqian. Additionally, lengthy actions in combat were trimmed, along with fragmented and repetitive environmental descriptions, to make the close quarters combat faster paced, and the feeling of impactful punches more intense. He roared, his body charging at me like lightning. Swish, swish. 2 icy blue sword auras shot out, flying towards me ahead of him. This exclusive skill of an ice swordsman not only possessed powerful attack strength, but it would also explode upon contact with an enemy, dealing additional freezing damage. Bang, bang. The sword auras arrived in an instant. I remained impassive, merely casually swinging. The serrated greatsword, nearly 2 meters long and 30 centimeters wide, holding it before me like a shield. The icy sword auras struck the sword and exploded, a cascade of frost rapidly spreading along its blade. Zhou Shuai, who was following closely, showed a look of joy. His true goal was to use the freezing effect to inflict me with a debuff. You're dead. Goal achieved. He tapped the icy ground with his foot, circling to my left like a phantom, stabbing out with his sword without hesitation. In his opinion, with the dual slowing effects of the ice arena and the sword auras, I would absolutely not have time to defend. You arrogant fool. Get ready to experience what death feels like. At this moment he was eager to see the scene of his sword piercing my neck. Meanwhile, the new and old students watching looked at me with pity. Even many veteran students who had undergone 3 transfers would be flustered by this move, let alone me, who had just completed my 2nd transfer. On the observation deck, the teachers also had grim expressions. This is trouble, Zhao Han. This young man will probably pay the price for his arrogance. Not only did he get to step onto the arena due to favoritism, but he also showed such contempt for his opponent. I hope this time will teach him a lesson. I hope this time will teach him a lesson. The beautiful teacher from the Magic Academy said softly. However, Teacher Zhao from the Combat Academy, who was sitting nearby, shook his head. This kid isn't at his wit's end yet. Hearing his words, many teachers around sighed in succession. Baldy Zhao, you don't think that in this situation, Zhao Han still has a chance to turn the tables, do you? Zhao Han himself, due to the level difference, already has inferior stats compared to level 60 Zhou Shuai. Now he's also under 2 debuffs. Failure is inevitable. The beautiful teacher said without ceremony. Teacher Zhao's expression remained resolute. You underestimate this young man too much. You squishy characters who only hide from afar and cast spells. How could you possibly feel the surging fighting spirit emanating from Zhao Han? The surging fighting spirit emanating from Zhao Han? Just watch. He's about to make his move.
Hearing this,
The beautiful teacher forgot to retort, and hurriedly looked towards the arena. At this moment, Zhou Shuai's greatsword stabbed out diagonally with a whooshing sound, nearing my body in the blink of an eye. Go ahead and show off. I'll run my sword straight through your neck with this strike. Let's see if you'll still be showing off then. However, just as the sword's edge was about to reach me, my hand gripping the greatsword moved abruptly. Asterisk boom! Asterisk, the serrated greatsword appeared before me like a flash, intercepting the attack, with the attribute feedback from 2 divine beasts and top-tier equipment bonuses. Even if I was debuffed, my speed far surpassed his. Zhou Shuai, my friend, that's not how you use a sword. Looking at his savage and excited face, I smiled faintly. The serrated greatsword suddenly twisted. Asterisk screech. His thrusting sword was instantly deflected, and his body lost its momentum. I subtly extended a foot. Asterisk third. Asterisk Zhou Shuai stumbled, losing his balance, and fell face first in a perfectly textbook dog-eating shit manner. The arena surface was covered in solid ice, and he slid effortlessly across it, crashing heavily into the magic barrier surrounding the stage. Asterisk hiss. Asterisk, a momentary silence fell around the arena, followed by an explosion of fervent discussion. What just happened? How could Zhou Shuai possibly fall like that? What on earth happened? How did Xiao Han dodge Zhou Shuai's attack? The crowd didn't see my movements at all. They only saw Zhou Shuai inexplicably and awkwardly fly out. But the teachers on the observation deck saw what was really going on. Terrifying reaction speed. He likes to take risks, deflecting the attack with his sword edge in an instant.
this kid,
He's practically a born talent for our combat academy. Teacher Xiao slapped his thigh excitedly. Zhou Shuai, who had crashed into the barrier, got up, trembling with rage. This fall didn't cause much damage, but the humiliation was incredibly strong. The intense humiliation made him explode in fury. Ah, I'm going to kill you! He roared like a beast, charging at me with a whistle like a cannonball, savagely swinging his sword towards my neck. A biting gust of wind hit my face, but I remained expressionless. I sharply flicked my greatsword upwards, directly tossing him and his sword into the air. Immediately after, the broad, plank-like sword came crashing down from above. Asterisk thud. Asterisk the serrated greatsword squarely smacked him in the face, the immense force slamming him to the ground. The entire arena shook for a moment. Asterisk hiss. Asterisk the onlookers flinched in shock. Just watching it made them feel phantom pain. Zhou Shuai lay prostrate, face down at my feet, struggling to lift his head, his eyes filled with horror and resentment. I told you, that's not how you use a sword. Zhou Shuai, your sword is fast, but it has no power at all. Look, your face is practically the shape of my sword now, I said with a shrug and a smile. His face was flattened like a pancake, and blood gushed from his nose. But he didn't bother to wipe it. He frantically pushed himself up, swinging his sword, trying to strike me again. Asterisk thud. Asterisk the serrated greatsword pressed down like a mountain, pinning him down once more. His eyes were bloodshot, and lying on the ground. He still held his sword, lunging it towards my legs. Zhao Han, I'm going to kill you. Oh, is that so, young man? Still so stubborn? I kicked out, directly sending the lunging greatsword flying. Asterisk, ah! Asterisk his greatsword flew from his grasp, and Zhou Shuai, his eyes blood red, completely lost his mind.
He charged again like a beast.
I swung my greatsword and smacked him away. Zhou Shuai, my friend, I think you've already realized the gap between us. Give up. It's for your own good. I'm gonna kill you. After crashing into the barrier, Zhou Shuai's rationality was completely engulfed, and he roared, pouncing forward. He showed no professional demeanor, wildly swinging turtle punches. Still so stubborn, huh? I shook my head, speechless. I casually held my greatsword horizontally in front of me. Asterisk thud. Asterisk he punched the sword's blade. Oof! Zhou Shuai trembled in pain, howling miserably. Give up. The gap between us is like an unbridgeable chasm. I sincerely advise you, get lost or I'll tear that annoying face of yours to shreds. He gritted his teeth and fought back through the pain. But the next second, I forced him completely to the ground. Stay down, you can't win. I looked down at him from above. A hint of reluctance flashed across my face. Impossible, there's no way I'll lose. He noticed my hesitation. Roaring, he shakily crawled to his feet. He threw a punch. Such a tenacious fighting spirit. Even with such a huge gap in strength, he still dares to swing at me. Since that's the case, I can't let him down either. I put away my serrated longsword and met his punch head-on. Bang, bang, bang. The thudding sounds of fists hitting flesh mingled with miserable cries. In just moments, Zhou Shuai's originally slender body became noticeably bulkier. I beat him so badly he swelled up all over. A gasp swept through the crowd below the arena. This is a total one-sided beatdown. A level 60 ice swordsman before the unfavored me is getting pummeled like a helpless kid. Just how strong is Zhao Han anyway? Even Zhou Shuai at level 60 can't make Zhao Han go all out. Is this freshman really that monstrous? He's just straight up thrashing Zhou Shuai. Even if those of us who just hit tier 3 went up now, we couldn't handle it as easily as Zhao Han does. Wait a minute. Does Zhao Han currently have strength on par with a tier 3 class? The upperclassmen were absolutely shocked. A beastmaster without their pet, trouncing an opponent 15 levels above them. It's the stuff of dreams. The freshmen below were trembling in fear, swallowing hard. That's way too brutal. Looking at Zhou Shuai, who was barely recognizable on stage, everyone's eyes filled with fear. Is this really a freshman like us? We're all the same age. So why is he such a freak? It really feels like he's not even from the same world as us. Many freshmen looked on in shock, quietly stepping back a few paces, as if being further from the stage made them a little safer, feeling of relief. I noticed a few other provincial top scorers looked equally uneasy. Zhao Kang, did you know Zhao Han was this fierce all along? Jiang Lingling, the top scorer from Yangshun province, gulped and asked. She was clearly traumatized by me.
Hearing this,
Zhao Kang's mouth twitched relentlessly. Damn, if I know he was this ruthless, would I have provoked him after we left the secret realm? But he did his best to maintain a calm expression. He coolly replied, of course, from the very first moment I met Zhao Han, I could tell he was special. Otherwise, what do you think? After the arena battle started, is the reason I didn't challenge him? The crowd discussed animatedly from below. Zhao Han is just too terrifying. Zhou Shuai is already in shambles. And Zhao Han still keeps going. But Zhou Shuai really has perseverance. Taking that much damage and not giving up? I used to underestimate him. Didn't expect him to have this much guts. Watching Zhou Shuai keep getting knocked down and standing up again, everyone felt a strange sense of sorrow. But Zhao Kang then raised a guess. He said maybe Zhou Shuai's been beaten silly by now. He wants to surrender, but doesn't even get the chance to speak. Everyone shivered after hearing that. Is he really going to get beaten to death on stage? Smack, another blow on the arena. Zhou Shuai was knocked to the ground again. His whole face swelled up like a pig's head. His eyes were just slits. Despite how bad he looked, he still stubbornly reached out his hand. I wore a helpless expression. Is this guy really that tough? I've knocked him down dozens of times, and he still won't surrender. Are you really trying to get yourself beaten to death by me on the arena? Fine, if this is what you want. I'll make it happen. I was just about to end it quickly, when Mr. Zhao, the shiny-headed combat instructor, suddenly stepped between us. Zhao Han, can you let Zhou Shuai finish what he wants to say? Mr. Zhao looked at me with a very complicated expression. Right now, this Tier 6 expert's gaze at me was full of shock. A level 45 Beastmaster, not using a pet, crushing a level 60 ice swordsman. He couldn't help muttering to himself. This kid might just make the school's talent ranking. While he's still a freshman, let Zhou Shuai finish what he has to say. What does that mean? I puzzledly looked past Mr. Zhao, at Zhou Shuai lying on the ground. Finally, his trembling hand stretched out all the way.
He managed to say, I surrender.
Those 3 words seemed to drain the last bit of strength he had. He completely slumped to the floor, powerless. Seeing this, I felt really awkward. So he actually wanted to surrender from the start? Too bad you never gave him the chance, Mr. Zhao said with a weird look. That's when I realized my misunderstanding. Get ready, and wait for the next challenger, Mr. Zhao reminded me, pulling up the dazed Zhou Shuai. I'm guessing the light in that kid's eyes is gone. Today's fight will haunt him for life. After handing Zhou Shuai to the medics, Mr. Zhao turned to everyone below. Freshman Zhou Shuai has failed to defeat Zhao Han. Anyone who wishes to continue challenging, please come to the stage. The freshmen exchanged nervous glances. All stepped back in unison, retreating away from the ring. Are you kidding? Even a top fighter like Zhou Shuai was beaten into that state. Going up now would just be asking for a beating. The whole place was dead silent. No one dared look at me. Mr. Zhao sighed inwardly. He couldn't even bother lecturing them. Since honestly, I was just too monstrous. Since nobody's challenging. Then the freshman ranking champion goes to Zhao Han. Now you all can compete for the rest of the rankings. With that announced, Mr. Zhao looked at me with burning eyes. Zhao Han, for you, the freshman ranking competition is over. Now, think about which department you want to join next. I've watched your fighting style closely just now, and it's truly perfect for our combat academy. I rubbed my nose a little embarrassed.
And asked,
Is it possible to help others fight for rankings? What? Mr. Zhao was stunned, but quickly realized, and shot a sly glance at Liu Ryan off stage. He patted my shoulder with a grin and said, You kid, there aren't rules against that in the ranking battle. But just this once. Don't overdo it. Thank you, Mr. Zhao. I smiled. I'm really envious of you young people. But remember, for now your focus should still be on honing your skills. Mr. Zhao glanced at me with meaning and left the stage. After he left, I turned and beckoned Liu Ryan over. What's up? She walked over timidly, clearly scared by my outburst just now. She must be thinking, if I have a violent streak hidden inside me, it's fine. Didn't I tell you before? Is there a reward for taking care of those 2 little guys? Now I'm here to make good on it. As I spoke, my gaze locked onto that burly figure among the freshmen. Zhao Keng, I'm challenging you on behalf of Liu Ryan. When he heard this, Liu Ryan's eyes widened in shock. Zhao Keng across from me looked like he'd been struck by lightning.
His face twisted up.
Damn, who even plays like this? Zhao Qian's eyes were shaking.
He definitely had 1,000 swear words in his mind.
Not sure if he should say them, but he took one look at Zhou Shuai's miserable state and forcefully resisted the urge to fight. Fine, Third place it is. Better than ending up with a pig's head.
He dropped his head in defeat.
I admit defeat. On the rankings, Liu Ryan's position jumped from 10th straight to 2nd. Seeing no objections, I jumped off the stage and made room for the others. Zhao Han, aren't you being a bit too domineering? Actually, 10th place is pretty good too. Pulled off to the side. Liu Ryan's pretty face was bright red. She stammered, domineering? I rolled my eyes at him. Are you stupid? 10th place only gets 5,000 credits. But 2nd place gets a whopping 9,000, plus an A-level material. Looking at me like I'm giving him tough love, he smiled awkwardly,
Got it.
seeing his sweet expression.
He thought I was concerned for him.
But the next second, oh right, when the ranking rewards are handed out, don't forget to give me the extra 4,000 credits. And the level 1 material. I put on a serious face. Liu Ryan was frozen in place. Her expression was frantic, probably cursing me out in her head. Give me back my moment of touching gratitude. 2nd place. Once the dust settled, the freshmen quickly reignited their fighting spirit. One after another, they went up. Can't beat me. Can you not beat each other? On the stage, magic and weaponry clashed. The battles were fierce, but for now it was none of my business. Just as I was standing with Liu Ryan, the teachers from all 3 academies surrounded me. Zhao Han, the ranking battle is over for you. Now it's time to choose your college. Do you have a decision yet? The beautiful Mage Academy teacher looked full of expectation. If you choose our Mage Academy, all previous offers still stand. Plus, in addition, our Mage Academy's dean is willing to personally take you as a student. You should know, the dean is a 7th tier powerhouse. 7th tier, my eyes lit up. That offer is nothing if not generous. Becoming a student of someone at that level is like instantly moving up in the world. Absolutely a shortcut to the top. Zhao Han, Battle Academy's teacher Zhao couldn't sit still. The Mage Academy dean personally coming to recruit students. That's just unfair. He squeezed through the crowd, grabbed my hand. Based on your performance on the stage, I can tell you're not a good fit for the Mage Academy. Battle Academy is your best choice. And don't listen to her fancy promises. The Mage Academy dean is rarely seen around here, barely spends any time at school. Even if he takes you as a student, he doesn't have much time to personally teach you. Come join us at Battle Academy. All our teachers are ready to create a custom training plan for you. A long-term roadmap, plus all the secret realms and dungeons of Battle Academy, are open to you for free. As soon as Teacher Zhao finished talking, I got even more excited. All secret realms and dungeons open for free. That's a real tangible benefit. It means in the future, I won't have to worry about earning credits through dungeons. I was torn for a moment, hearing both their offers. The teachers from the Support Academy exchanged nervous glances, looking troubled. One dean personally recruiting. One academy offering all teachers and dungeons. All the Support Academy has is resources. They can't provide that level of teaching power. So what are we supposed to do?